Howdy y'all and welcome back to Clash Masters. We are in the final week of our qualification period. Today's last chance qualifier final round, the semifinals, are here and we only have 4 teams left in contention. My name's Woody and I'm joined today by Itsu. We have got some amazing battles ahead of us, Itsu. What are you looking forward to most?
I'm just looking forward to some crazy matchups, as you just said, because today we are going to have all of those matches happening for seeding, which then later on is important for the playoffs. But I think we should just take a look at the format so we can explain it to you guys how this tournament is structured, how this tournament works. So let's take a look at the format and what exactly you can expect today. So first, we have 4 weeks of competition. This is the qualifier phase. 3 weeks, 3 matches every, 3 match days every week. And yeah, at the end of this qualifier phase, we have 8 teams going into the playoffs. We have already all 8 teams set, but not the seeding just yet because the qualifiers is just the first phase. After that, we have the playoffs happening, which is quite an important stage of this tournament.
Oh, it sure is, Itsu. And right you are, this is the 4th and final week of the qualification period. But after today, all 8 teams will be decided and their seeding for the playoffs will be determined. We're going to be going into the playoffs next week where the bulk of that $20,000 prize pool that we have to give away is available. We're going to put our teams into 2 different groups with a best of 1 double elimination format over 3 days. Group A will compete on day 1 and Group B will compete on day 2. Then the top 2 teams from each group will emerge for the final single elimination bracket with a best of 2 grand finals. The winner of that final war will get $5,000 and a silver wildcard ticket for the Clash of Clans World Championship, $1 million event that will be wrapping up in just a few short months. Take a look at the additional prizes available from each week in the past, and for the playoffs next week, second place gets a whopping $2,500. Not anything to sneeze at, Itsu.
No, I mean, it's a lot of money on the line for those teams. And as you said as well, the silver out of this wildcard silver ticket for the Clash of Clans World Championship is a huge thing as well. Because one thing which you have to keep in mind is there are so many teams in this competition already which already earned maybe a golden ticket or even already a silver ticket. Which means, obviously, those teams are getting bypassed when it comes down to giving away this wildcard silver ticket. So it might be actually happening that we won't see the first seed taking the ticket because it has, like, maybe the team has already won one. So that might be the case. It's going to be interesting to see how far the ticket is going to be handed down because we have so many good teams in this, like Queen Walkers. We have Alternate already both with the golden ticket in the bag. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work at the end. But today we are here for the seeding for the playoffs of the Last Chance Qualifier because we have our top 4 teams set and they are going to play today for all of the seedings, which means we have first the semifinals right after the 3rd seed match and then the finals to determine who is going to be the #1 seed from the Last Chance Qualifier.
All right, you are, Itsu, and I think it really speaks to the strength of this competitive field at Clash Masters that some of the teams have already earned qualification for Clash of Clans Worlds. So if that is the case and they wind up winning this event, you're right, that silver ticket will be passed down for another wild card spot to go to the next top-ranked team. That's a very highly coveted prize that they are all eyeing for the end of our event after playoffs next week. But for today, it's all about the seeding for playoffs. So the top 4 teams have already been determined based upon their performance in the prior 3 weeks, but today's event will determine half of the field where these teams will be ranked up on the leaderboard. And our first semifinal event today is going to be our reigning world champions, Alternate Attacks, versus the up-and-coming underdogs, a strong contender in their own right, victorious over Team EXO and the Anonymous 5 on a 14-10 scoreline. It's Aphelion Esports. They'll be defending first. Garakuta's base is up, and Ast will be the first attacker for Alternate Attacks, moving in hot and fast with that Skybrid army, Itsu.
Yeah, and I'm so looking forward to that blimp. Like we have seen yesterday, so many blimp fails. So let's see if now Alternate is falling to their own traps with those NATOs. And there's already a couple of first Black Brands, and this blimp is just getting sent across, just hoping for the best. The poison is deployed. It's a little bit too late for the poison, but still, the blimp is flying, and the blimp reaches its target. There is a couple of first traps, but no, the blimp is reaching the target. There's no NATO whatsoever. But the question still is this enough power to get to the back? And a couple of Dragon and Dragon Riders are still alive, but this defending Royal Champion is a huge problem for those Dragons, and they're quickly dying out. And that, I mean, to be honest, the attack started good, the plan looked good as well, like sending the heroes into the Eagle, creating pathing, which is so important with those air attacks. But still, the troops died out so quick. Incredible trap placement, I guess, on the side of Aphelion, because this is looking not as good. But at the same time, yes, the Royal Champion is still left, and we know how powerful those heroes can be. The Royal Champion, as long as there are not a lot of traps in the base. But there's the Ice Golem coming out, and this Ice Golem now, this is actually a problem now, Woody.
Yeah, there have been multiple problems for this attack. The defense holding up incredibly well. I think of particular note was the fact that that single target Inferno survived the Battle Blimp attack early on. I think Ast might have been intending to take down both the Town Hall and that really big key defense over there on the left compartment. If that had happened, that might have saved a dragon or two out of the attack, and with 2 more dragons, you can deal massive amount of damage. There's really just kind of 1 compartment left when it all comes down to it, and if that attack had shaped up just slightly differently, you are so right that it might have turned into a 3-star. As it stands, though, alternate attacks will be left hanging with that 2-star in the low 80 percentage. Archer doing her best on that left side barracks to try to knock it down and get another overall damage point here. Remember, if you're just tuning in or if you're complete strangers to Clash of Clans esports, it all comes down to the stars earned by these 2 clans. There will be 5 attacks each, and whoever gets the most stars wins. If we do have a tie on stars, though, overall damage is the next tiebreaker, and then time spent on the attack. So both teams will be keeping a close eye on that to try to stay ahead on all 3 of those metrics as best they can. With that first attack concluded, Ast will be going back to the drawing board and trying to find another point of entry with alternate attack's second move. But next up, it's going to be Aphelion Esports with the return fire, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. And we have to keep in mind, Alternate is coming from a double perfect from yesterday. Yesterday they achieved twice 15 stars in their 2 matches which they had to play yesterday. But today already the first attack is not going to work out, which is quite unfortunate. So let's see how they can come back to their normal form. It was maybe just only the first attack, who knows. But either way, as you said, Defeated is going to go in next. Looking forward to see if we're seeing some air again in the first attacks. And yes, indeed. We already talked about that yesterday. It's pretty common for those teams to start in early with those air attacks to make sure that they have more planning time for other attack strategies, which then might come later on. And this is the attack from the left side in this base. Yes, quite a few skeleton spells, which is not that common, especially with having back-end multi-inferno towers. So looking forward to see how that's going to work. But so far, he's doing a nice job with blocking those first scatter shots. Now those Inferno Dragons, and Dragon Riders, everything are just going in that base. The Town Hall is going down. The NATO is triggered, but the NATO is not doing the job, and this Town Hall is going down.
Rapid 5-finger drop on those Inferno Dragons, and back-to-back freezes and rages to get all the troops right on target. The Town Hall is eliminated for the first star. The second star claimed at 50%, and this army is still looking strong. Itsu, Grand Warden protecting a big aerial assault into the middle of the base. All but 1 Inferno Tower is burned apart, and the last one has been frozen. Excellent freezing as well onto that enemy the champion there. And with that, that's just going to be a 3-star. A really excellently planned strike here from Shoya by Aphelion Esports, starting off strong in this war and really putting alternate attacks' feet to the fire. An overwhelming victory. Look at how many troops are left, Itsu.
That is crazy. Just like the pathing and everything, and the patience with those spells was really, really good in this one. And this means we have Aphelion, the underdog in this one, starting off with the lead. And yesterday, nearly always, we had this early pressure being a super important thing for those teams, making sure the pressure game is on their side. And right now, Alternate have to come back from this, from this position, which is not a common one where they're in. So let's see how they can do against a really strong looking Aphelion, because yesterday already, they were showing how good they can be. And as well, I think they were showing a lot of air attacks, Lalo as well yesterday, so looking forward to see later attacks, then switching up the style of attacks. And let's see if Alternate is going yet again with the air, or if they're going to mix things up and maybe go with something different, since the first attack did not work out for them. Either way, looking forward to see what is next for Alternate. Woody, what do you think?
Well, in 3 of our 4 wars yesterday, we saw the team that had the lead after the first attack get the win in the war overall. Comebacks are certainly not in the norm here in Clash of Clans esports, and in Clash Masters, we've seen really strong teams like Alternate Attacks have difficulty early on and then not be able to recover from it. So just missing that 1 star, that 17% damage seems like a little small amount. But when you are looking at 2 really top-ranked teams like the 2 that we have here right now, it does not bode well for them to be dropping early on. I'll also say I think Alternate Attacks' strength is in their offense. They are often putting up 14, or as we saw yesterday, 15-star wars. So to have missed an attack there, to leave a star on the table, basically, means that their defenses are going to have to hold really, really strong. And Alternate Attacks are a strong base building team. I don't know if they're the best in the world at base building. I think that they might be the best in the world at offense. But given that big drop early on, this might be more than they can come back from. We'll give them a shot, though, as Vale will be the next attacker for his squad, running in with Laloon.
Yeah, we have that Blim flying across into that Inferno Tower compartment. He has no invisibility spells, which means that this compartment should be taken down with some Yetis, and that's exactly what is the case. He is taking that out and looting out the clan cast as well, which is an important thing. Like we see so many times where the heroes are struggling, people are adapting and putting like hounds, for example, inside the clan castle, and those hounds, they're quite annoying to face with those heroes, which means if they're getting faced inside the base, this is a lot of stalling, especially for that queen if she can't shoot those defenses. The king on the other side might get ahead on this. Is obviously not an optimal thing, so taking the clan cast out nice and early is a huge move and gives him even more power. So let's see if he's just adding the king in there as well, or if it's just the queen. And it seems like it's just the queen which is getting sent into the tower compartment. On the other side, we have the king getting into that multi-Inferno Tower compartment, and we already see how this base is shaping up with the heroes which he's deploying. So tower compartment is supposed to go down with his queen, and then later on he can get started with the Lalo from the left side, because that's everything what is still left. If the entry is obviously working, like that's an important thing. The queen ability is getting used, town hall should hopefully go down, the king ability is getting used as well, Woody, and now the Royal Champ needs a lot of value.
I was a bit worried there that the Barbarian King was going to pull the Archer Queen off the Town Hall, but she managed to get that final shot in just in time. Knocks down the King as well, and we'll get a few pop shots off on the remaining targets there. Royal Champion blocking for her. Got to give her a little bit more chance to deal some more damage. But here comes the main phase of the attack now. Itsu knocking down as many air defenses early on is a good start, but Vale has got a couple more left on the backside of the space, and it's all up to those Lava Hounds to protect the balloons from those big key air defenses. Haste spells are a perfect complement for the balloons, which go really slowly, but deal massive damage, getting them right on target. Protection from the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome is also ideally timed to keep them safe from those Wizard Towers, which can deal maximum splash damage to air and ground troops. Big target still left up top, though. It's going to be that scatter shot. It can deal massive splash damage to any clumped up balloons, and volleys if they spread out a little bit. They seem to have done so, and with the final free spell out, this is looking like a triple.
Yeah, only the scatter shot at this point can somehow defend this. It's trying its best, but the couple of loons coming in are clutch. 20 seconds though, like time is ticking non-stop, and the headhunters and the minions are doing a great job of clearing out everything. The skeleton trap, I don't think that that's any difference. 10 more seconds and Vale is getting the first 3-star for Alternate, so they're coming back strong. And now it's back on Aphelion. We had this yesterday a couple of times, but some teams were not able to actually take this lead over the finish line. So It's still a lot of attacks to go, so nothing is obviously decided yet. Alternate, Vale did exactly what they had to do to come back in this one. And now it's back to Aphelion getting their lead back with a 3-star. Otherwise, it might be a tie after the second attacks. We have to wait for that one.
Only time will tell at this point, but alternate attacks are showing up with some strength after all. Big hit there from Vale. We'll get 3 more points on the board for them, and Aphelion Esports are going to have a tough time set out for them after all. Only a 17% deficit for alternate attacks on that scoreboard, and so they could theoretically still come out of this with a 14-star performance. It's certainly not out of the range of expectation from them in the past, but I gotta say, maybe the fact that they've already qualified for playoffs next week, maybe they aren't really all that concerned about seeding. They might be even holding on to a few of their better bases in expectation of that massive prize pool on the line later on next week. So opportunity here to get a little bit of a practice in, to show up on a really thick day of competition. They've got this event, they've got the ESL Mobile Open. There's lots of different stuff that they're planning for. They're going to be watching out for the Clash of Clans World Championship this weekend, even though they won't be competing. There's a lot to pay attention to here. So clearly alternate attacks are staying with it, going hard in this current meta, have a great offensive run, and are probably focused on base building and learning maybe a thing or two about what they can set up to best prevent their opponents from being able to knock them down next week. So next up, it's going to be Emma from Aphelion Esport trying to cement this lead and keep that 3-star score going. But it's going to be a very atypical attack here. We very rarely see the Yetis leading the charge, but that is actually going to be the primary force in this offense. Backed up by Super Wizards, what is the plan here, do you think?
That's an interesting combination. Like, typically we see the P.E.K.K.A replacing those Yetis because the big positive thing, obviously, is that P.E.K.K.A can't really getting Springtrap away from the attacker. So Yetis on the other side, they can catch Springtraps and they're off the map, so they can't do anything anymore. But since a lot of base builders nowadays put those Springtraps in weird positions, so they maybe catch some headhunter sneaks like that, so maybe it's just like thinking, oh, let's put some Yetis into the mix and try it out with those ones. So looking forward to see if it's working out or if it's just I don't know, not going to work at all. Either way, we have the Yeti smash now coming in from the top side. The Yeti mites are jumping, flying, running, and doing whatever they can to support this push. The vulnerability is catching most of them, but there's the Springtrap for one of those Yetis, and that's the important thing. The vulnerability is not protecting against this Springtrap, and we saw already there's nearly no Yetis left at this point, so the push is really fast dying out, and that's obviously not something what you want to see from a Yeti smash or like overall a smash attack, because at this point only the Queen is left. Like, what is going on? Is he even getting the second star at this point is the question, because the Town Hall is hiding behind a lot of damage inside this, like behind the core, Woody.
He's got some cavalry hog riders storming on in, but giant bombs exploding are exactly not what they wanted to see here. Invisibility spell will protect the Queen for a little bit longer, but I think you are right, Itsu. This is going to be a tragic miss for Aphelion Esports. An atypical attack strategy, and there was no reward on the table whatsoever. Now, still holding on to that Royal Champion, so he's got a hope and a prayer of trying to be able to throw some more damage here on the board, but it is going to be... I think it's impossible to get the second star at this point. We'll see what Emma can do, though.
Yeah, it looks like an impossible task right there. I don't know, I feel like the plan overall was good. I just, as I said, don't understand why he's bringing the Yetis. Like, there is a reason why no one is using them, because, like, they're dying just too quick. Like, I don't know. And we see the exact that. I mean, he had to use 7 Yetis for one compartment. This is not the best use case, and this means we have, yet again, an alternate 1-star defense. So, wow. I mean, that's quite impressive thing, getting so many 1-stars on defense in those matches. And I don't know if he didn't look strong in the beginning, but now they are behind, even though they started with a 3-star.
This is really quite the upset and turnaround. When you underestimate any base, try to play something fancy out there to get style points, or I don't know, something out of left field, you really had better know what you are doing. There's a saying, if you're going to come for the king, you best not miss. And in this case, Aphelion Esports took their shot and they missed. Emma coming away with a 1-star now leaves Alternate Attacks in the lead, a 5-4 scoreline, which is basically equivalent to having picked up just 2-star strikes in both of their first 2 hits, with Alternate Attacks getting that triple in the last round. This has been the biggest swing in star advantage that we have seen in the Clash Masters. I think in any competition, in any war that we've seen so far, going from a -1 deficit to a +1 advantage, just in the case of 2 attacks, is really an incredible turnaround here for Alternate Attacks.
Yeah, that's for sure. We have the next attack coming in. And if you guys are wondering why we see YOLO23 and not Yo-Yo23, Alternate guys, and as a couple of guys already mentioned in the chat, have another competition as well with the ESL Mobile Open, so they're allowed to use their second accounts in this one. So yeah, don't really pay too much attention to those names. It's still like our favorite players out there. Yo-Yo is coming in with the Queen Charge Dragon Rider attack on this one, and he is charging in this long channel. Most likely going to do a connection wall break, maybe then to get into the scatter compartment. But either way, this so far looks pretty good. The Clan Castle is getting taken down with the poison. Queen, though, has to survive this and has to keep going. And then we have... Wait a second. Queen, what a comeback! Queen is going the wrong way. And now he has to adapt on the fly because it was planned to have the king going in for the Town Hall. But now, plans have changed, Woody, and he has to adapt.
Well, what can he do at this point to recover, to change up this attack strategy while still being able to get maximum value? He's still going to get the Town Hall, and he's spitting a big chunk out of this compartment, but without the Queen going north, I'm still seeing a lot of damage up top from that scatter shot that could cause some problems for this raid. Yo-Yo23 knows that he can add on that Queen damage down to the bottom, though, so maybe that'll let him save some spell support for later on in the raid when he knows that that big scatter shot's going to be landing. He's holding on to one last free spell, so there's a solid chance that he's going to use that toward the end of the raid on that top compartment with the air defense, the wizard tower, and that scatter shot. Maybe even potentially using it against this air sweeper just to keep his troops on target. He doesn't want to get pushed around too much.
Yeah, and he has still the jump spell with him, which means the Queen at some point can get jump into the base, but the problem still is his main force with those Dragon Riders are already inside the base, and at this point the Queen is only doing cleanup purpose. Can this still be enough? That's the question. The Dragon Riders are pushing through, doing their best to somehow get this attack back to work. He says the Slammer, he says the jump spell, time is ticking as well. Dragon Riders are not the fastest troops, so there is the Slammer now coming from the right side to make sure that things are going quicker.
Freeze,
as long as
freeze,
this Queen is
freeze.
not dying. Yeah, the freeze, but he has another rage still left as well, but where is he going to use it?
I guess he's going to wait for the Stone Slammer to drop out. He's got the jump spell down, so the Queen can go support against some of those defenses, but I don't know if she can reach that scatter shot. Tornado on the Stone Slammer is really unfortunate here, but he might still have this after all. I'm going to hold my breath. I think he's going to be good, but 8 seconds left. There's not a lot of time for cleanup. I don't know. After all, this might be a miss on time, Itsu.
Really good job keeping his Queen on track, but the Queen did not redo what he wanted. Like, the Queen wandering around, coming back was really unfortunate. He was doing everything he could, adapting on the fly, but it was not enough to get this 3-star at the end. So, really good attempt by Yo-Yo. This means another open door for Aphelion, because we already talked about it. The 1-star is changing things up, but since Alternate is only 1 out of 3, this means Aphelion still has a chance of coming back and tying stars yet again. So this match is staying wide open, but please don't bring Yetis again. Please.
We would hope not. Yeah, I think that was not a successful plan of attack, but nevertheless, maybe in a different world that went a little bit differently to get the triple. I think last time for alternate attacks, though, just the thing that Yo-Yo was missing out on was the speed. He clearly had the force there to finish off that final compartment, but was a little bit too careful with the backup on that last edge. So maybe just a little bit more quick deployment might have gotten him the triple there. Garakuda will be the next attacker for Aphelion Esports, a very strong attacker to be sure, and even with the 3-star, though, would still be a little bit behind alternate attacks. It looks like With a triple here, they would cap out their percentage destruction at 91.7. So that would still leave a little bit behind the 93.3 that Alternate Attacks is holding on to. So Garakuda hoping to get a little bit closer to tying this thing up with a triple. Another turnaround that would be quite the storyline for the development of this war, now just halfway over. Early poking on Prodden here with these two heroes is getting quite a bit of damage off and opening up for the one Lava Hound Lalo attack to be coming in next, Itsu.
Yeah, we have the Queen charge just getting started. I feel like the left side, he wants to get the ground expo out of the way as well. He has 2 more wall breaks to get deeper into the base, but now it's based on the Queen pathing. Where is she going next? Going for the multi-inferno tower, going for the warden most likely, and there are the next wall breaks to get the Queen further inside. But wait a second, this scatter shot is still staying up and he won't be able to reach it. He's trying to layer into the scatter compartment, but the wall break is having different plans, and this means from this angle he cannot reach that scatter shot, I feel like. So this might be a big problem for him depending on how his Queen is stepping. So the question is, can this dip defend? Because this base is not next.
I think she might go to that compartment next. It's just a question of what wall she chooses to target onto. Yeah, she will go for the scatter shot compartment. So she'll keep fire from that scatter shot. She's getting plenty of heals, and we'll be able to take that out next. It's going to spend up a lot of time for her. So let's look at the main phase of Garakuda's attack going on now. Battle Blimp makes it all the way to the town hall, and although those balloons are getting spun around quite a bit, the Dragon Rider will not be denied the second star. 75% and still a few more spells to throw out at this base. Gonna shut down that scatter shot over in the right side compartment as well. And with that out of the picture, this is gonna be a big force moving in for the final compartment at the bottom. Lava Hound's right, just about to pop. It's doing a great job protecting these balloons. And wow, he's actually going to freeze to prevent the Lava Hound from popping. 28 seconds left to finish this base off, and I think that the cleanup has got it. Garakuda is looking slapping good for a 3-star, Itsu. Clap that base and get it done.
Yeah, really good attack. The Queen charge did not work out as intended, or at least the wall breaks did not. So unfortunate over there, but still getting it done with that 3-star. And this means we are all tied up again. This match is just throwing around those leads. Like first, Aphelion is going in with the lead. Then we had the reverse turnaround with the Alternate getting the 3-star and the 1-star defense. And now it's all back to tied up. So it is quite an up and down for those two teams at this point. And we have the score line of 7-7 after 3 attacks each. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to the next 4 attacks, next 2 attacks each for those teams, because so far, you can't predict anything. You think, like, okay, Aphelion is looking really good, 1-star. Okay, Alternate is looking really good, another 2-star. So it is like a back and forth, non-stop in between of those two teams, and it's quite a close one.
Yeah, terrifyingly close, but the closer we get to the end of the war, the more that those little tiny advantages start to stack up. Alternate attacks with an even star line against Aphelion, but holding on to a little bit more percentage, will have a pretty firm lead right now. Not a commanding one, not one that they can't slip up and lose at this point, but both of these teams have had really high hit rates in the past. Taking these past 3 attacks from each squad out of the picture and just kind of setting them aside, we would really highly expect that the 4th and 5th attacks from really high hit rate teams, from attackers that have a lot of experience and a lot of preparation time to build up their strikes, are going to succeed. So let's give Sir Iron all credit as due. The Queen charge in the top corner is going to get some great funneling accomplished for this base, holding on to 3 super wall breakers. So that's a lot of walls to crack into, getting some value against a scatter shot in the top corner, and then maybe even making it down to grab that enemy royal champion. But wasting no time on the left corner either. It's already a Barbarian King going to storm into that town hall compartment and get this Dragon Rider attack prepped and ready, Itsu.
Yeah, the Queen is charging in, trying to make sure that she's eventually going for that scatter compartment, but still she has a long way ahead of her, and those super minions are dealing a ton of damage. Question now is oh, wait a second, that wall break might be clutch, but the tornado being the game changer, and he can't get access towards the core. I mean, now he's having easy access towards the scatter shot, but wait a second, this Queen, we know that she loves wars, but this Queen is just going crazy. What is she doing? She's now skipping the scatter, and I don't know if that's now a good thing.
Yeah, she'll get down the multi-target Inferno in the center, but Sir Iron had to throw out that Royal Champion to get a few more shots in that top compartment. He'll be able to get the scatter shot down, get a Wizard Tower as well, and start work on that air defense. But you got to wonder if that was plan A or if that was just a quick adaptation. Either way, though, I think he's getting solid, good, decent value here. He's already got the second star and is on his way toward the back half of this base. Second scatter shot is finished off, and it's these two multi-target Infernos that are starting to give him some trouble now. That Queen's going awfully far down. Expo locked onto her and only a couple of healers to try to get her top to back off. Sir Iron is going to use that Eternal Tome, though, and Dragon Riders are all looking well protected, still high on that hit point total, and they are cruising in for a landing now. 72% and climbing even higher as there's no real big threat left in this base. All the defense is crumbling under the might of this assault, and Sir Iron looks to be good for that triple into.
This is looking really good. Even though the Queen was playing yet again Warbreaker, this is still going to work. A great Queen charge, getting a lot of value, even though it was playing different since he wants Warbreaker over there. But hey, we have the best Warbreaker in the game with the Queen. And I mean, that's already done enough. So really good attack from Iron, and this means Alternate is keeping their lead for now. Because even though if he might tie it up on stars, we have then the percentage lead for Alternate. So everything is still looking good for Alternate, even though things are still looking close. But for making sure that things are looking close, Aphelion needs a 3-star. And so far, they had an up and down performance. So let's hope that it's not going to go back to Yetis and some unfortunate 1-star. So let's keep going with some great attacks, Aphelion, and looking forward to see what is next for them.
Wallbreaker rolling on through a bit too slowly there, and so the Archer Queen took his job. Still finding lots of value along the outer edge of the base, though, as low as she was on hit points. As long as she's alive, she is cracking in with maximum damage. So with the support of the Royal Champion up in that top corner, great heads-up play there to secure the 3-star by getting a great funnel set up for those Dragon Riders along the bottom right edge of that base. Very solid job, and with the 10 stars total and an advantage on percentage, alternate attacks have moved one step closer toward the grand finals of our last chance qualifier here in the Clash Masters. Aphelion Esports will need back-to-back triples with a big hope and a prayer that the defenses will hold up on their 5th and final base if they want to have a chance to take this race. Kazuma will be the next attacker. Super Witches! Once again, a relatively off-meta strat here for Aphelion Esports. We saw Super Witches a couple of times yesterday, and I gotta say, they were not pulling their weight in terms of their total offensive capability. Really slow attack that really highly relies on those jump spells. Fortunately, though, I think for Kazuma, this is good base identification, really big open compartments to drop these on. And so with good, solid funneling early on, might be able to get the value out of this attack after all. What are you thinking in terms of how this base is shaping up, Itsu? Is this a good base for Super Witches?
Yeah, I think what you said with the open compartment in the core is looking pretty good. I mean, he has a double jump spell, so he's going to make this whole base in a complete open area, I feel like. But the important thing is obviously he's going to blimp the Town Hall. The thing is, if he is going to get that Single Inferno Tower with that blimp, I think things are looking great. But if that Single Inferno Tower is not dropping down as well, this might be a little problematic because he can't reach it from this core compartment. So Queen Ability already had to be used as well, which is not a good sign either. And now this Clan Cast is coming out with Super Minions, which shouldn't be any problems, to be honest, for those Super Witches. And, well, Poison is there, Blimp is flying, and now we have to take a look at that Blimp. Because if this, as I said, the Single Inferno Tower is not going down, this might be bad news for him. There's the Rage, there are the Yetis coming in. Can those Yetis take down the Single Inferno Tower so far? Yes, it looks like. And this means everything now is in range, and those Super Witches can really do their thing now and go through the core of this base.
Kazuma can breathe a sigh of relief. That single target Inferno had locked onto his Archer Queen, and if he had lost her that early on, that would have been a big offensive letdown for him. Thanks to the support from that Battle Blimp, though, it will go down just in time. The 1-2 step here for Kazuma, moving into the backside of this base now as an Archer Queen hopping over walls and knocking down those scatter shots is going to get even more great value. Super Witch is kind of getting stuck there in that alleyway and just taking a ton of shots from that Eagle Artillery, though. One of them about to go down if Kazuma can't find some way to get it protected. Healers do swap off, though, onto that Super Witch, and that might give her one more salvo of protection as she gets even more firepower raining down on her from the skies above. Left side compartment, the last line of defense for Captain Planet's base. Alternate attacks trying their best to hold on, but the cleanup is looking quite strong here for Affiliate Esports, seeking that triple to stay strong in this late war match. There it goes, gets the 3-star.
Yeah, really, really good move. And I think I like the most that he used the Royal Champion from the right side just to make sure that all of the point defenses which were out of range for that queen were taken down, and keeping the queen alive is an important factor, especially because she had no ability left. So keeping her alive, use this constant DPS to make sure that it's not going to end up in a time fail, which we see so often with those Super Witches, is a really good move from him, keeping that queen alive with that Royal Champion placement. And now it's back to alternate. It's such a close match. I think Boom has the last attack left for alternate. If he triples, everything is in their own hands. And they're going to get into the finals, and they have the chance of getting this first seed. But is this going to work? That's the question. Can he get this 3-star done? That's the question. He likes Blizzard, he likes Lalo, but it's, well, pretty much he's doing everything. Like, he's an all-rounder. But still, I love to watch his Blizzard attacks because it feels like his heroes have like 10 more levels. Like, it is so crazy how powerful his hero dives are. And looking forward to see that yet again against the next base. Or maybe he's going with something different, Woody.
Yeah, only a few seconds separate us from diving in there. A 3-star guarantees victory for alternate attacks. And it looks like Boom is operating under the moniker Captain Planet for this final strike. Battle Blip going in nice and early. Just about to pop right there with invisibility and rage. Going to be zapping all the way through this base. Another invisibility spell as those Super Wizards are starting to do some great work here, tearing apart this massive compartment and chaining lots of lightning around. But is that going to be the value that he needs? Such a big investment early on to zap through this big compartment. Takes down the enemy Archer Queen, and it's even taken a few shots at these builder huts on the outside. That was a big spend early on, Itsu.
I mean, yes, it was a huge investment, but at the same time, like, getting great value as well. Now he's sending in the king at the top side, trying to get the scatter shot, but hey, there is a surprise for him because there is the Testa form in this compartment. He's adding the Royal Champion, which means at this point, the queen is relying on her own to take down this town hall. There's the defending Royal Champion next to it as well, which might be even better value depending on if he can make sure that his queen ability is staying up. And so far, the value is just incredible. Take a look at where's the base? Like, he has still 2 Lava Hounds, 26 Loons, and a ton of spells not even deployed yet. And this is already getting close to the 50% mark. The Town Hall is about to drop down. The next scatter shot is to fall. Like, there is only one multi-Fern Tower left in this base. There is one multi-Fern Tower left in this base, which is an actual big threat to Lalo. And he's just sending everything in from the top side. This is looking crushed. The Royal Gem on the back end might survive with a little bit of hit points. But either way, I don't think that this one Royal Champion can defend this huge wave of Loons coming in for it. Warden ability not used yet. There's the Warden ability blocking all of those red bombs. And this means this should be the 3-star for Alternate to get into the finals of the Last Chance Qualifier for the Clash Masters.
Incredible job. Super powerful lead off for this attack. That Blizzard did excellent work in the compartment, and I was questioning whether it was enough value to justify the spend, but with those hero assaults on the bottom right compartment and on the top left, squishing this base from the outside in like a black hole, just sucking up every little bit of value that he could. The 3-star is good for Boom, and with it, alternate attacks, like you said, advance on to the grand finals, leaving Affiliate Esports in the dust. They'll have one more attack to try to put up on the board, but are unable to catch them on percentage. The tiebreaker will certainly tip in alternate attacks' favor, regardless of the outcome of the next hit. Affiliate Esports will be going to the bronze match next, where they'll have a chance to compete for 3rd place in this tournament today. We have a total of 4 wars, and the first one is just now wrapping up, but this is among the best in the Clash Masters field. We are so excited to present to you these amazing attacking and defending attack players, and so we've got a lot left to learn for the rest of the day. But Itsu, with this final attack just about to be underway, what are your initial impressions after this war? Do you think alternate attacks is going to be able to hold up in the grand finals and get that first place finish, or does having just 13 stars against a potential 13-star opponent kind of suggest that they might be weakening a little bit here in the last chance qualifier?
I think it's going to be interesting who they're facing up against, because I think it's going to be a factor there as well. I think their bases are holding up really good against those common air spam strategies so far. The NATO traps nearly always are on point with trapping the balloon, for example. So let's see how that works. But for example, if Reported is going to get into the finals, we saw only Lalo takes pretty much from them yesterday. So seeing that might be a factor in like trap placement, everything. I don't know how quick they could change the traps, but that might be a thing to keep in mind overall. But Joko is now live with Lalo as well. This might be the first factor on how things look like if those bases of Alternate are not going to get attacked with air, the spammy version, but instead some Lalo. So let's see how that's going to work out. The Hound, though, the Hound is looking quite annoying for those troops, because as we said, the Hound is starting out quite a bit out of those troops, especially those important ones with the Queen, with the Royal Champion not being able to do pretty much anything. But the King taking down the Town Hall is an important thing as well. The Queen with the Royal Champion can take down maybe the Expos as well, depending how she passes. She's stepping into the top point. Giant bombs everywhere. No! And this Queen is going down with the Royal Champion, not getting the Expos either. And I think he was hoping for getting those Expos out of the way. But both of them are surviving. And this now might be a big game changer, because there are overall four air Expos in this one, Woody.
That was a little bit underhanded, not able to complete that bottom compartment. That's going to be more damage to dish out on the backside. They are only point defenses, but really long range, and you can already see them starting to pop balloons. Two of them now down out of Choco's attack, and he's going to have to just try to do his best to protect the remainder of them with that Lava Hound. Another going to be popping out of the top corner now with a Dragon Rider to support, but with balloons soaking out in front, they are taking a lot of damage, and that is not what you want with this Lalo strike. You need to protect those loons as best you can, because that is your main offensive line to finish off enemy defenses. So he's got a little bit more to add on to the left side over here, but with Scatter Shot, Air Defense, and a Wizard Tower firing away at them, they're going to be popping down just about as soon as they get deployed here. And Choco is running into a lot of trouble with the last few defenses that remain in the center of the base. Balloons are doing their best, though, right on target. They don't take any damage from that Scatter Shot, but as you predicted, it's going to be these two Expos in the bottom compartment that are the last line of defense that will ultimately end the attack. Victory for Sir Iron on defense, just on by the skin of his teeth, really, with those two Expos in the bottom compartment holding on to the final third star.
Yeah, it was a good attempt overall, and I have to say, Lalo looks not too easy against those bases from Alternate, but maybe the entry just did not work out for him. Either way, I have to say, looking forward to see the finals, but before we jump into those finals, we have one more match to see who's the opponent for Alternate over there, because we have the next match coming up, Woody. Team Zex versus Reported Gaming.
Right you are. Two clans from the German community who are going to be baring their teeth at each other, trying to take a big chomp so that they can prove that they have what it takes to go up against alternate attacks. Meanwhile, Aphelion Esports will be waiting down in the bronze bracket to find their next opponent. But Team Zex and Repotted Gaming, both newcomers in the Clash Masters scene, rising up through this last chance qualifier. Hadn't seen them score any points in the first 3 weeks, but they have come in swinging in this fourth and final week of competition. They will be going on to the playoffs next week, and it's for them right now all about writing their story. Which team will they be going up against? The seeding is very important to try to find the most advantageous position for that playoff opportunity. Repotted Gaming and Team Zex both showing that they can put up 13, 14 Star Wars against the best of them. So we have got a really great match ahead of us. Itsu.
That's right. So we're going to go into a really short break. Coming back, we have this next match on our hands. Team Zex versus Reported Gaming. It's going to be an amazing one, so you don't want to miss that. So stick around. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes. See you then.
Howdy y'all, and welcome back to Clash Masters. Our last chance qualifier today is now in the semi-final stage, where we are at the bottom of our bracket. Repotted Gaming versus Team Zex will be our next showdown. Only one team can advance to the grand finals to face off against the world champions Alternate Attacks. Who's it gonna be, Itsu?
That's the big question we all ask ourselves, and I have to say, the match yesterday from Reported, I have to really take a look at that. They played against Sierra Betters, and that match was incredible. We saw so many cool attacks in this one. Both teams preferring the Lalo, which is really cool to see. And I really have to say, I'm hoping that Reported is staying in this trend. I think they used maybe once or maybe twice Screenshot Dragon Riders, but except that, only Lalo attacks. So I have to say, looking forward to that. On the other side, I have to say, I'm looking forward to Team Zex showing off that they can compete against the best teams out there. Looking forward to see which team is going to face Team Alternate in the finals. And this getting at some point, obviously, the first seed for the Last Chance Qualifier.
Well, only time will tell which one is moving on. Repotted Gaming, I think I will say in their favor, has had a little bit stronger offense throughout the past couple of days, putting up 14-star wars against multiple really top-ranked teams, including CR Betis in that round from yesterday, to qualify for the playoffs. On their side, though, Team Zex has done a better job at holding off on defense. They only had 2 3-stars against them by NON team yesterday, so really able to keep some of the best teams at bay with their base building. It's going to be a team that's really, I guess, surging in offense against a team that has had great defenses, and all about whether or not Team Zex can find a few good bases to knock down. Expect them to get that reliable 13 stars, but keep the question open as to whether or not Repotted Gaming will hold on to that 14-star performance that they've had from previous matches. Klinga will be the first attacker for Repotted Gaming. Usually these initial attacks are the ones that the attackers feel a bit more confident that they can just drop a Queen Charge Dragon Rider or a hybrid Skybrid spam attack against the base and get that reliable 3-star, while their later attacks are taking a bit more time to plan. A deep charge over this Archer Queen. She's taking a lot of damage early on. Forces out the ability there, Itsu.
That was a close one. She could have dropped the poison a little bit earlier and could have easily saved that Queen ability. So already like a small mistake early on in this match from Reported. Maybe they're getting a bit nervous. You were talking about this. They were not that high up there typically. So this might be something for them as well about the nerves, keeping their head cool. That's the question, if they can do that. So far now we see the lock, wait a second, the lock launcher rolling across and getting that Queen into the tunnel compartment. This might be now an interesting move, I want to say, because if that Queen is not going for the tunnel right away, this tunnel will be activated, which then around might be some bad news for him. But so far, the wall is open. The question is the Queen going to take it? And it's going as planned. So far, it's a yes, but the red bombs are saying no, only a couple of more, and this Queen is about to go down.
Yes, so many traps striking those healers, and this Queen is really taking a punishing blow. Big invisibility spell, but that's the last one that Klinga has got, and that Archer Queen looks like she's not going to be long for this world, walking right into a den of lions. The scatter shot and Expo and single target Inferno are all locking onto her. She has been now finished off, and it's all about these Dragon Riders from the right side going along clockwise at the bottom side of the base to try to take it out. Unfortunately for them, though, quite a bad spread for them, having to go all the way into the middle of the base to deal with that scatter shot, and then facing down against a single target Inferno on the backside. A lot of offense on the field, but an early use of the Eternal Tome might prove to be deadly for Klinga. He's doing his best to stay on track there, but without any troops pathing into that single target Inferno, he is going to be losing them one by one, and I don't think this is going to be a 3-star, Itsu.
It's going to be really close. The back and air defense is quite a problem for him right now. The same Inferno Tower is going down, but there's yet again another Black Mine. The Dragon Rider tries to get this air defense down, but it is looking like it's staying up, and this means it looks like a defense. But 15 seconds is left. Can the King and the Yak somehow make this work? The Nado Drip is getting triggered, but nothing is getting looted inside. We have 8 more seconds. The King is walking around. He's slow, but he's getting there eventually. Maybe with those minions, 2 more seconds. One.
No! Crushing defeat for Klinga! The 2-star 99%. So good, so close! But he just couldn't get it in the end. Gold storage will hold up and just needed a tiny sliver bit of more DPS to finish it off, Itsu.
That was a close one. That was close. But I think you can be happy with the result because the entry did not work out that great. There were a ton of Black Mines against this entry set, so maybe it would have been smarter to use some healers inside the lock launcher instead of using the Yetis to make sure that the Queen is staying alive further on. And if the Queen would have stayed alive overall, and she could have taken out the single Inferno Tower, she would have easily been able to reach that air defense and so on. So I think at the end of the day, this was like on him. Wasted the Queen ability quite early, but still the plan over was really, really good. I love the lock launcher from an off angle like this, which is not that common, so really nicely done. But now we have Team Zex coming in, and this one is going to be a P.E.K.K.A smash, which we don't see too often, which is interesting. But now we have the P.E.K.K.A smash. The Warden Walk is starting things off. And then later on we have the smash getting sent in most likely from the top left side into the scattered compartment. But let's see how that works out. First off, this Inferno Tower has to go. This Inferno Tower has to go down to create the pathing and make sure that there is no second layer threat to his troops, because the Inferno Tower would be kind of annoying to deal with without being able to reach it, actually. So, Woody, there's the first wall breaker going, second one as well, and this means he's just getting started with his Pekka's push.
Well, I think Klinga has probably already thrown his device against the wall, so fortunately for him, he won't have to watch his base get attacked next by Uzi from Team Zex. And right you are, this is a big Pekka smash strat being built up over on the left side of this base. 2 jump spells, in fact, to get them all the way in. First entry point is going to be right into the thick of it. That middle compartment is tiny. Lots of defenses are going to be firing away at these Pekkas, and they're going to want to try to hop out of there as quick as possible. Good use of the Eternal Tome, going to have that Battle Blimp soak 2 Seeking Air Mines. It's spinning around a lot for that Tornado, and that's going to require another free spell to keep it safe and on path for that Town Hall. Meanwhile, these troops are spreading out in a dangerous position. Infernos are heating up these Pekkas, and they are getting smashed themselves all the way down, annihilated. Managed to take down the Town Hall with those sneaky goblins, but he is losing a lot of his offense early on here, Itsu.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate how those healers switched, and all of the Pekka went down so quick, but the backhand jump is making sure that his troops can actually all group up now again, all jump into the backhand, taking down the backhand hero. The Queen somehow is staying alive with that Unicorn, the Royal Champion coming in from the top left, and even though it looked pretty bad in the core, it still looks good at the end, because I mean, he still has witches left, he has wizards left, they can leave the base at the bottom side. Again, the Royal Champion with her ability is still left, and I think, Woody, this is going to be the first 3-star for this match.
Wow, very rarely do we see a Pekka smash strategy manage to make it all the way to the end without any Pekkas left. Usually it's the Pekkas who are getting the final shot off there on cleanup, but this time it's going to be those witches. Support from the Grand Warden was crucial here. That Royal Champion also doing a lot of work on the back end to assist with cleanup. And with that, Uzi has done it. This is no time fail for our second attack. Team Zex will be rewarded for their clever attack approach on this base. The Pekka smash going all the way through the center and wrapping around on both legs. A big old bear hug to knock down Klinga's setup there. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was a really good attack. It was a good idea with the Pekka smash and the blimp towards the Town Hall, using those sneaky goblins so he has not to use any more spells to take it down. And then just the jump placement, I feel like, was the key overall, making sure the last jump is getting placed, that everything is getting back together. So the troops which were inside the core can jump out of it again, and at the same time the troops which were inside the eagle compartment can jump out as well. So really good plan overall. Now it's back to report, and I have to say, so far they did the Queen Charge Dragon Rider. Yesterday they did a ton of Lalo attacks. So looking forward if they're going to do it yet again. And they're doing always something which is really cool, which we don't see too often from other teams. If there's like those dead zones, like those double wall segments, which you can open with one wall breaker, they really like to do a blizzard in there. So let's see if they're going to do it on this one. There's the blimp flying across. The Hound is tanking nicely. But there is the NATO, and this entry seems to be baited. But wait a second, is this now going to be enough value? The rage is placed. Now it's all about those super wizards getting the value they need to make sure that this base is falling.
That is a gigantic investment early on there. Throwing a Lava Hound to support the Blizzard. Huge expenditure, but wow, he has really taken a massive chunk out of the center of this base. Still seeing a big scatter shot in that bottom right and left side compartment. So Timtastic knows he's got his work cut out for him, but he has done himself a big favor by launching that early assault. 45 seconds in, he's going to get the Queen going in. Might protect it with an Ice Golem. No, in fact, Ice Golem's going to go out on the left side instead to try to help this Barbarian King get a few more shots off. Cracks through the walls, and if he's fortunate, he ought to be able to take down that air defense. Another big leg up. Oh, with this Royal Champion, it's going to be no question the air defense goes down, and a scatter shot as well.
Yeah, I think the value overall was pretty good, especially now King and Royal Champion should get this left compartment out of the way as well, which is quite a bit. And depending on how far the Royal Champion goes, she could even maybe take down the Multi-Inferno Tower. That would be a lot of value. I mean, the Queen taking down the Sweeper as well. There's the Royal Champion ability. It looks like she's not going for the multi just yet. The invisibility spell is getting used. Is the multi going down next? Yep, that's how it looks like. And take a look at that. Yet again, 60% mark is getting crossed before the Lalo even starts. And this is so impressive. Those Blizzard entries are so powerful. And now we started the Lalo that this Royal Champion is even staying alive. How is that Royal Champion still alive? What is going on, Woody?
She is an artful dodger indeed. Timtastic even used a balloon on the outside of the base to crack down a cannon to make sure that she stayed on task as long as possible. Grand Warden Eternal Tome will protect her even longer, Itsu, and this champion has just really gone the distance. An incredible strike here for Timtastic with plenty of time left for cleanup. Still facing a multi-target Inferno, and that's pretty scary for Balloons, but as the last defense of the base, they are more than prepared for that job. We're going to see some air skellies pop out of those two traps, and that's going to be a little bit unfortunate. Bombs exploding all over the place. Those traps did some good work, but a little bit too late to deny the 3-star for Timtastic. Repotted Gaming are coming back strong off that 2-star 99% that they first hit with, and Rita's base has been demolished.
I mean, to be honest, there's no difference if the traps at the end get some more loons. If it's 1 million loons left or 2 million loons, who cares? It was an incredible OP attack right there. And just those Blizzard Lalo attacks from Repotted are so impressive. Typically, we only see them mainly from Boom earlier already today. So it's like 60% of the base is gone before you even just start with your Lalo. Heroes are so powerful in the right hands if you can make them use, and if you can make them work, get out the compartments, and this was exactly what he did right there. Really nicely done. And now it's back to Team Zex to get the lead back, because they were going strong early. But we saw this with the last match. We had teams heading ups and downs. So let's see if they can make that work, or if Repotted is coming back.
Yeah, it really surprised me that he chose to use the Lava Hound of all things to protect that Battle Blimp entry point. And especially when the Battle Blimp was spinning around in the Tornado Trap, I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be all over here and now. But with so much insulation to keep it on task, to get the perfect drop of those Super Wizards and keep them invincible throughout the entirety of that compartment, really did some great work. Only got really 11% out of that initial strike, but against key defensive structures that would otherwise have caused a lot of problem for the shaping up of that attack, I think it was well justified, and you saw the result, a 3-star definitely earned there. So Soichi will be the next attacker for Team Zex. Going to be moving in with 11 Inferno Dragons, a super Inferno heavy Skybrid army that will still rely on a couple of Dragon Riders to take out some key defenses. Strike coming in from the top left is going to be a quick drop. This is going to be a very fast attack from Soichi. Already has the Grand Warden down. The heroes are out doing their best as they can to assist with the funneling, and then are they going in fast. 4 freezes and a couple of skeleton spells as well to try to distract perhaps for that single target Inferno in the Town Hall compartment, Itsu.
Yeah, the Blimp though has to reach that Town Hall. Wait a second, there's the NATO. The NATO is getting spin around, the Black Mine is following, the Black Mine is hitting, but there's not enough damage, and this means this Blimp is reaching the Town Hall, even though there was the NATO trap, and now it's all about those Inferno Dragons. As you said, he was going really heavy with those Inferno Dragons, which is not that classic. Typically, you have like more Dragon Riders in this one. But he's just going with so many Inferno Dragons in this one. But hey, wait a second. There's the Lava Hound coming out. The Lava Hound got lured due to the Royal Champion placement. And this now might be really bad news. He's going against the Sweeper. Air defense on the back end. Double air defense, actually. And this Royal Champion is not making it for too long due to a couple of back end defenses. Royal Champion is trying her best to stay alive, but this air defense is doing quick work of those Inferno Dragons. This looks like another defense to me, but the Inferno Dragons, there's still quite a few left on this right side. Can they make it though? What do you think?
I think he might just barely have it. I kind of wish that he had used that last freeze spell a little bit earlier to get that Archer Tower down. That's going to be more damage stacked on, but I guess he can save onto it and maybe use it against the Wizard and Archer Tower here, or will he hold on for the air defense at the very end? That Grand Warden is set to air, and so I think that air defense is the main thing that he's worried about. He's holding on to that free spell until the last leg of this attack. 40 seconds left. and this is unlikely to be a time fail. It's going to be all just about taking down that air defense when it matters most. As soon as that Grand Warden wanders into range, expect to see that last freeze going down to try to insulate and protect the final stage of this attack. There it goes. The air defense is popping off. It takes down the Electro Owl. It takes down the Inferno Dragon. A late deploy, but Soichi will protect the Grand Warden after all. Does he have enough time to finish off the cannon in the gold line? I think he does. It looks like a 3-star to me, Itsu.
Wow, that Warden targeting the air defense, clutching it up, and that was a close one. That was such a close one. One more Black Mine, this Warden would have been gone. Oh, wow, the Warden clutching this one, and this means Team Zex is staying perfect for now, getting in the next 3-star. That was a really close one. The Blimp still getting the Town Hall, I think, was the difference maker in this one. The Town Hall going down, and you just had to invest a couple of spells to actually make sure that the Blimp is reaching the target. And only one Black Mine being over there means the Blimp survived. And, well, then unfortunately the Town Hall going down means that this is going to be a close 3-star. But, well, we have more attacks to go for, and we have so far still the really, really small lead. Star and percent, both, only one of them is the lead for Team Zex in this one, and next is reported again. And I have to say, I'm hoping they're going yet again with Lalo, because seeing them do Lalo is looking quite impressive. So that's what I'm hoping for. We're going into the next attack. Let's see what they're going for, and there we go, Lalo. But this one, wait a sec, with the clone? What is this, Woody?
Oh my goodness. Clone spell, the first we've seen today, and
Clone's Yeti Blip?
only the second that... What? Yeti's in the Blip, popping on out, trying to take down that single target Inferno, gonna crack into that Builder Hut as well. The Yeti might still do it. They finish off the single target Inferno, even get a few more additional pop shots out there, activate the Town Hall as well. It's an atypical start, but an interesting attack here from Mech so far. Backing it up with a Queen charge in the top corner. No healers to protect her, so she's doing a Sui dive in that compartment. We'll be able to get the Town Hall down with an early use of the ability there just to crack in as hot as possible. Super quick strike here to finish off this Lava Hound as well, and we are going to be setting up for the main phase of the attack next, Itsu.
Wow, just using as well the invisibility spell just to make sure that this Queen is targeting the Town Hall first and not the Lava Hound. So really nice usage of that over there. Yes, one more invisibility spell to use. The poison is getting used for this defending Queen though. Now the freeze as well is getting invested, making sure the Royal Champion can eventually take down the Queen. The King is going for the next scatter shot. And yet again, we're looking like a pretty good destruction rate at the moment. Next invisibility spell to keep the Royal Champion alive. The scatter is going down. And the Lado is starting from the top right side. And I have to say, this Lado is now going to be interesting to see if it's going to work. It was quite a big investment early on with this cloned Yeti Blimp, something which we don't see that often. Headhunters are getting used, Warden ability in combination to make sure that the Headhunters are staying alive. Loons are splitting up, still tanking a couple of traps, but I don't know if that's looking too good. Couple of defenses still left, and those Expos at the top, Woody, are dealing a ton of damage.
Skelly Trap as well as Trigger Nades just knocking these balloons down bit by bit. A Tornado Trap is really going to be the nail in the coffin for Mech's attack. Big compartment still remaining at the bottom side, and jeez Louise, look at all these bombs going off. These poor loons had a solid shot here, but there's no more offensive support for this attack. That Wizard Tower is going to get a few more shots off against the remaining cleanup troops along the bottom edge, and this looks like it is done and dusted. Solid defense here for SQU for Team Zex, and Mech will be sent packing a 2-star in the mid-80 percentage.
Yeah, this means this is an incredible good defense for Team Zex, especially considering how close this match was before the attack. But with this, they're at least maybe 2 stars behind, depending on the next attack from Team Zex. But 84% is not too high. It was an interesting idea with the cloned Yeti Blimp, but to be honest, I'm not sure if it was worth it. But hey, it's always cool to see that people are trying to try new stuff, trying to invent new stuff as well, and it did not work out as intended. I feel like actually it was something which was like a negative thing overall, because the problem was that those cloned Yetis then activated the Town Hall, which means then he had to invest more spells into the Queen to actually take down the tunnel because it was already activated. So not sure overall if the cloned Yeti Blim actually helped quite a bit. Either way, it was a cool idea, but now we're getting back to Team Zex to see if they can keep pushing their lead, because if they go into 3-star yet again, it's going to be a close one for Repotted, that's for sure.
It seems to be that time and again, the fails on attacks are coming from just unconventional uses of troops like the Yetis. We saw an attack earlier that just got 1 star with Yetis, trying to just eke out more value than they really are able to give. The Yetis have a pretty interesting troop where it's kind of halfway positioned between, like, I don't know, a P.E.K.K.A. and a Witch, with the ability to tank a lot of shots and kind of spread out a lot of support troops, but just not really able to do either one of those jobs particularly well. Big strike with a massive investment for the clone spell. That is a lot of spell storage space for relatively little value on that last hit. And I'll agree with you there that I think that might have been the downfall for that strike. But next up will be Rita. Just had the base destroyed. Rita will be attacking next with this Skybraid army. Big drop right over on that right side corner, and not going to waste any time at all with the Eternal Tome, protecting that blimp as it paths towards the Town Hall, dropping bombs along the way, Itsu.
Yeah, the Queen actually going inside. Wait, no. Okay, there was just the archer. I thought the Queen would be hiding behind the Infernal Dragons as well, but the tunnel going down yet again is a good sign for him. But wait a second, the Warden with a couple of Infernal Dragons is wandering to the side, and this means there's nothing now really with those top Dragon Riders protecting them, giving them more hit points, because remember, around about 500 to 600 hit points is the HP buff of the Warden. This is like, the troops are just getting this just for being close to the Warden. All of those troops at the top side do not get this bony, which is obviously a huge deal. But still, it's looking good. There's not too much on the back, and the Dragon Riders are pushing through. The Royal Champion is trying her best, but she's going down eventually. Now the air defense, that's the question. The Unicorn is on that Dragon Rider. Can the Unicorn make a difference? The Unicorn is keeping the Dragon Rider left alive. What is going on? This Dragon Rider would have been down without that Unicorn. This Dragon Rider is invincible. What is with this Dragon Rider?
Cracked offense from Rita. That Dragon Rider seems to have been eliminated time and time again. Finally goes down here, but I think that it has done its job. It can rest in peace because there is just 1 defense left and so much time for the cleanup. Grand Warden will soar in on his cloud and strike down lightning on this opposing base. Timtastic has been eliminated, and Team Zex will get the strong pickup. A decisive 3-star, 3 in a row for Team Zex. And it looks like a transplantation for Repotted Gaming. They are going to be sent away, and they are going to have to grow somewhere else because this land belongs to Team Zex.
Yeah, but you have to say that this attack was so lucky. Like, the Unicorn keeping the Dragon Rider barely alive against this air defense. This air defense would have been on the back end, would have stayed alive otherwise. So, wow, I have never seen such a clutch Unicorn switch ever, I feel like. That was something special. This Unicorn is like, this Unicorn deserves some more Dark Elixir for sure. But wow, that was an interesting attack. But yeah, as I said, Team Zex is looking incredibly strong right now. Repotted. It is really hard to come back from this, especially how it looks right now. They did amazing yesterday, but I think at this point they just have to like try to concentrate again, try to get as many stars as possible, push themselves, and at least go with like a good feeling into the 3rd place match if they won't make it like with a comeback or something. Because if they're going to fail now twice more, obviously they're still then in the 3rd place match. But going in with 2 more fails, just like the mindset into the next match, might be not the best case. So I hope that they can now boost them up again with some more 3-stars, and then they can go into the next stage of the tournament, whatever it is going to be, with their head held high.
Well, the attack is already underway for Andy, doing his best for Repotted Gaming to try to get up to that 13-star potential. But with only 1 triple so far, they have really got their work cut out for them. Battle Blimp going on in early to talk some sense into that Inferno Tower and take it down for size. wipes out an Expo as well and gets a lot of attention from the enemy Archer Queen. Finishes her off, and with the Queen charge of his own in the bottom corner, ought to be able to sneak into that bottom compartment and take out that scatter shot. Poison Spell dropped a little bit defensively, not able to get those super minions right out of the gate. Archer Queen takes a lot of shots, but will be able to heal up with those healers as long as there aren't any big traps there, or if the scatter shot doesn't lock onto them. Should be good in here. Rage Spell is a good addition as well to keep her safe and healthy for this entry point here, too.
Yeah, the Queen now charging in. He wants to get the... That's the question. He wants to get the jump towards the town hall. I was thinking that he wants to get the town with the king, but still, this looks good value-wise. The question now is, can those Dragon Riders push through the top side? There are no sweepers pointing against the Dragon Riders, which is great news for him. But still, let's be careful with all of this. The king ability is getting used, but right into their bomb tower, which means those barbarians won't have the greatest day of their life. But the Dragon Riders are just getting started. Is he going to use the Warden ability early to make sure that they're not taking too much damage off the air defense? So far, it seems like a no. Headhunters. Whoa, those Headhunters! All of them right into a Spring Trap. And this means this Royal Champion now having to fight the defending king is not good. And this is why you never ever drop all of your Headhunters at once. This is not a good thing in the current meta with people being so crazy and using those Spring Traps against Headhunters. The Royal Champion finally is catching up. The Queen is going down in the rage. And this now is going to be a tricky backhand with 1 minute left. Woody, is this going to be enough?
It looks like Andy is starting to panic now. Gets the freeze spell up at the top and defends those Dragon Riders. But Royal Champion is just really kind of left for a lurch now. Going into a compartment all on her lonesome. Getting burnt up and shot at by a cannon. 42 seconds left for cleanup along the outer edges. And still a few defenses there, but it might still come out to be a 3-star after all. Dragon Riders are incredibly powerful, and that Grand Warden is still there to help protect and defend them. No defenses left to fire on the skies, but can they make it all the way around the outer edge of the space? I think he's got enough troops left to do it. That's a lot of damage that he's stacking up, and they're going to be able to fly over these walls in the center. Gold storages are already getting ticked away by the minions, and it looks like Andy is going to be able to do it after all. Took a lot of shots, but he kept on swinging, and that offense just would not quit. Repotted Gaming have found their second triple, Itsu.
Yeah, there's the second 3-star for them, getting it done with the Queen Charge Dragon Rider. As you said, incredible powerful strategy right now in the game. And even though the Headhunters were nicely trapped, it did not pay out because he used the Great Warden ability to keep that Royal Champion alive overall. And the Queen getting a lot of value with that charge as well. Was a great attack. It feels like we have not seen too many Black Mines on the way, on the path of those Dragon Riders. And this is like kind of the tricky thing about those things, because if they dodge the Black Mines where you, as a base builder, then predicted them to go, it is not easy to get rid of them. They are so tanky, and if you don't catch them with Black Mines, it is kind of painful to watch as a base builder to see them just fly through the base. But really nicely done, and it was really close to at the end. But we have now the next attack from Team Zex, and they can make this pretty much done. Like, if they get the next 3-star, this attack, this match is pretty much over at this point, because it's not really possible to come back from this deficit of stars for Repotted. So let's see if they can make this war already being over, or if Repotted has a chance and maybe stay inside this one.
Yeah, that's one of the big advantages to also being a great base builder, or to having a lot of attack strategies under your belt. If you are familiar with trap placement and know what to expect in terms of bombs on the outside for your wall breakers, or spring traps going to try to send you away, you know, even if you do something like Hog Rider, you know, minor armies, that's something that you're used to, that you're expecting, and you would be less likely to drop all your troops in the same spot and have that happen to you. But at any rate, let's take a look at SQU's attack coming in next. An early strike over in the right side corner will knock down quite a few of those buildings on defense. But what's really kind of standing out to me is how all 5 of those builder huts are kind of set up in a line in the center. Do you think that that's done to try to protect the multi-target Infernos that are next to them, Itsu?
Yeah, like trying to protect buildings which have a lot of hit points is the key thing for those builder huts. And people are trying to, yeah, create pathing with them as well, because if you put buildings so close to each other, it's less likely that they get like troops, maybe loons for example, are getting distracted and like going off to either left or right. So this speed of defenses might be sometimes a bit annoying to attack, especially with like, for example, loons. But either way, we have the hero part going into the interesting phase where it's about to engage on that town hall. The wall segments are really interesting plays, which means that the queen has, can just walk around, get into the tower compartment and take it out, and maybe even be able to take down the defending royal champion. And those Dragon Riders, 7 overall. That's a ton of Dragon Riders. We talked about this. If there are no Black Knights against those Dragon Riders, they are going to be really hard to be taken care of. So let's see on how many Black Knights we can count. The first Dragon Rider is already dead, and this is great news for the defense. On the other side, there are 6 more Dragon Riders left, Woody.
My goodness, the number of troops stacked up onto that attack on the top side is really something to behold. No healers to support that Archer Queen in the bottom corner, just her trusty, faithful steed, the Unicorn, trying to keep her topped off. Meanwhile, though, on the top side, that is a lot of Dragon Riders still left alive for very much base left. Holding onto a Rocket Loon just in case he needs a little bit of extra oomph for that scatter shot on the back end. And there he goes. He's going to use it against the Archer Tower. Doesn't take it down, but you know what? That's not a problem for SKU. Still 35 seconds left, and with those Dragon Riders fanning out beautifully, that will deny splash damage to the scatter shot and Wizard Tower and ensure that they are able to take down every single base defense. What an impressive triple, and what a great base read from SQU, seeing an opportunity to strike hard at the bottom side there with open walls. In fact, didn't even have to crack in there. That Archer Queen took one look and was like, hey,
it's free real estate.
Walks right in, cracks down the first star, and wipes out the rest of it for a clean and easy triple.
Yeah, I think a big problem for this base was just like the Royal Champion's so close to the Town Hall. This is obviously incredible value if you want to send your heroes in for that, because one of the big problems for Dragon Riders is they cannot defend themselves against air skeletons, defending heroes, things like that. And this means taking out one of the important heroes only with your hero dive, which is intentionally to get the Town Hall. And it's like, hey buddy, you can take both, take down the Town Hall, take down the Royal Champion. This obviously is helping the strategy quite a bit. And then we saw the attack follow-up was a huge overkill. So nicely done. As you said, really good base identification to see the right strategy on this one. Getting it done with a huge overkill. And this 3-star pretty much guarantees already Team X the finals against Team Alternate. But we're going to see 2 more attacks. Reported is next with a wild attack. We see Rocket Loons, we see Dragon Riders, we see a lot of things on this one. And I have to say, let's see if we see a 3-star at the end of the attack.
Well, Reported Gaming doing everything they can to get that score all the way up to 13. That'll give them the tiniest sliver of hope on defense against Team X to try to get an advance on percentage. But with Team X squared off to get a perfect war, they do indeed look very well positioned to face alternate attacks in their next match. General X will be attacking with a gigantic complement of rocket balloons, 10 of them, to back up these 3 Dragon Riders. Very heavy offensive defense structure targeting troops here by General X. But he is going to be concentrating all his firepower along this top side corner. The Archer Queen will be directly backing up the attack as well. What's drawing your attention, Itsu?
I'm just confused that he's using the Ground Warden. Like, is he he's going to blimp now towards the Town Hall. He's used the Ground Warden, but the King is a little bit too far ahead. But now using the Warden ability to protect that blimp, so the blimp is reaching the Town Hall. But wait a second, there is the NATO trap, which is causing a lot of problems. And now this means this Town Hall is not going to go down. The Black Mines are catching that blimp right there. And this is huge bad news, because he wanted to get the Town Hall with that blimp. And especially having invested so many things already in the entry with like the Queen, with the Warden, this is going to be tricky. Yes, there is still a lot of power left in this attack, but the thing is that the Warden was invested, and having the Warden with like the backhand is a huge thing. But not having this ability anymore is a huge thing for the defense. And now I have to say, is he going to get that second star? That's the big question. He has 3 freezes left. This is going to be so close.
He's going all in, Itsu. He is either going to get the 1-star or the 3-star. He is swooping in from the top corner, and he is not going to go for the easy route here. He's sitting in rocket loons on an impressive spread here, trying to take out as many defenses as he can. If he can knock down the air defense, that will be a big leg up for him on the attack. Really just the Giga Inferno from that Town Hall, the last big obstacle that he has to overcome. He's sitting in the freeze as best he can, but can only trap the Town Hall, not able to get the Expo as well, and with that, the point defense will knock down the last remaining Dragon Rider. The final assault has begun. The last attempt on this base. 22 seconds left. He's got egg on his face. Can he wipe it off quick enough to get in there? Archer Queen's gonna help out, but she's awfully low as well, and with so much splash damage spread out. Oh no! A sinking air mine! The final shot! The coup de grace! The defense will stand, and Team Zex, not only with an opportunity for a perfect war, but holding their own with a 1-star defense, are gonna have their heads held high as they march into the grand finals, Itsu.
Yeah, and I talked about the mindset going into the next match. I feel like Reported has to do a complete reset of the mindset, because going in with the, going to the next match, into the 3rd seed match with a 1-star is quite unfortunate. You said it already. It was no difference maker if they get the 3-star or the 1-star or the 2-star or the 0-star. It did not matter at this point. They could go all in after this fail, after the entry did not go as planned. So it was a good try. I mean, if the Yeti blimp would have not been trapped, this would have been most likely a 3-star. So it was a really cool plan, but it just did not pay off. So unfortunate ending for Reported, but we have one more attack for Team Zext, and then to see them facing off against Alternate in the finals, that's going to be an interesting one to see. But first, we have the last attack from Team Zext, Woody.
Yeah, really just one tile separating the deployment of those Yetis from the battle blimp into that tiny, awful compartment where they landed, and into that big open space at the bottom. Being able to knock down the Town Hall early on would have virtually guaranteed the 3-star. I wonder if he might have been able to throw another invisibility spell or a free spell maybe to ensure that the battle blimp got in there, but ultimately not going to carry the day this time. Instead, it's going to be Takana on defense last round, and now for the knockout punch by Team Zex. They've already secured placement in the grand finals with the 12 stars that they earned, but can they make it a perfect war and send a decisive message to their next opponents? Team Zex is a force to be reckoned with, and can they finish off strong once again with another 3-star?
That's the big question. We have the Queen charging in, getting that next layer. Oh, that Queen ability had to be used. The Queen ability had to be used quite early, and he's relying on that Queen to take down the Town Hall. He has the jump spell, still not used yet. The jump spell is going to be used to get the Queen behind the Town Hall to take that down. And then later we have the Dragon Rider starting from the bottom side. So let's see if that's going to work. He has 1 rage left, and that's not a lot, you have to say. The jump spell is getting placed. Question is that Town Hall going down? And so far, it seems like a yes.
Yeah, huge spell investment early on from Takana here. He's done a lot of work on this base, but he's only got a couple of freezes left. Big deployment early from Takana, and he'll keep his Queen well protected by those healers, insulated as best he can from splash damage. And there you go. We get another free spell out to protect from that single target Inferno. That's a gigantic compartment to face off against them. And with the Queen already having used her ability, she is really going to have a lot of work left to do to finish off here. If the balloons get close enough, though, they can help to soak that damage from the single target Inferno. And yes, they will. The Queen is safe. Takana will continue moving along to the top compartment and do his best to knock down every final defensive building and set up for cleanup. I think he's done it. This looks like a 3-star. Once again, Team Zex well rewarded, and the perfect war is such a fantastic capstone achievement for this clan.
Yeah, I have to say I'm kind of surprised that this was not baited. Like, the entry overall looked quite obvious, I would say, because like it's such a common move to charge like in from the flank towards the Town Hall, jump into the town compartment. So typically the compartment where you're sending your king is trapped with like Tesla and giant bombs, things like that, just to make sure that the king is not getting this second layer or like this important defense of that compartment. but there was not even like a core defense which is actually threatening the healers or anything. So kind of surprised that this was not even trapped or whatever, but a really good read yet again from Team Zex against this phase. And this means they're going in with the perfect, going in against Team Alternate in the finals. But before we're going there, Woody, we have one more match to go before, right?
Sure do. We are going to have our bronze match next, and that is going to be between Aphelion Esports and Repotted Gaming. Let's take a quick look at the bracket to see how that is all shaping up. Advancement into the finals now for Alternate Attacks and Team Zex, but the last two wars are still crucial at determining the seeding for our playoffs next week. This big $20,000 prize pool event will have most of it awarded in our last and final week, as well as that silver wildcard ticket for the Clash of Clans World Finals. Right now, it's all about which teams are going to be facing off next week. And the better your placement this week, the better chance you have at moving on through the playoffs next week. So a great opportunity to secure a strong spot here for our bronze match coming up in just a few short minutes. We hope that you'll stick with us and let us know who you think in the chat is going to get the win. Howdy y'all, and welcome back to the Clash Masters Last Chance Qualifier. We have finished our semifinal round in Itsu. We are now starting our bronze match. My name's Woody, and I can't wait to see which team is going to advance for our playoff seeding next week. Is it going to be Repotted Gaming or Aphelion Esports? Your thoughts, sir?
That's a good question. We have to see. I mean, both of them are already guaranteed in the playoffs, so it's all about seeding. Can they make seed number 3 or seed number 4, determining in which group they're going to make it in the playoff phase? That's the important question. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Overall, it seems like so far the bases of Reported did not defend that great over the competition. You mentioned it before the last match. They did pretty good on offense before their last match, but on defense, they were not that hot. So I think they were going to have a bit of a trouble against the powerhouse of Aphelion because they so far did pretty well in this competition. So looking forward to see how they are going to face off and which team is going to get the early lead in this next matchup, Woody.
Yeah, great question. The team that starts off with the early lead has almost always gotten the victory. Very rarely do we see those comebacks actually materialize. You know, alternate attacks had a little bit of a slow start in their war, but managed to get a decisive comeback after a strong one-star defense. So in this upcoming match, we are playing for seeding, and as you mentioned, the team that scores better will have a spot higher in the playoffs for next week. All 4 teams that have already qualified have claimed the top 4 spots in seeding for our playoffs. So this is about spots number 5 through 8. And in the bronze match, it's about seed number 7 and 8. So whether you go up against top teams like Nishang Dance in the number 1 spot, or maybe against the number 4 spot team, HT Family, will all depend upon your performance in this last and final war. And I do gotta agree with you. With Team Zex moving on with a perfect war, all 15 stars on the board, Repotted Gaming seemed to be having quite a bit of trouble in their last round. It was a pretty tough match between Alternate Attacks and Aphelion Esports with a 13-12 score line, much lower hit rate than we had come to expect from both of those teams. But I think that there's an opportunity here for Aphelion Esports to rally. If I were to predict which team I think would take the win in this next match, I would say Aphelion Esports has got a slim, not decisive, but enough of an advantage for me to predict that Aphelion Esports gets the win.
Yeah, it's looking good for them, right? Like, it's looking really good, especially after what I said about the mindset of Reported finishing this last match with a 1-star. It's not easy. I mean, yes, okay, they lost already the match at this point, but still, like, finishing with a 1-star is never a good feeling, and it kind of feels like nothing is going your way, and this one blimp getting baited and the entire attack falling apart was nothing good for them mindset-wise. So I have to agree with you. Aphelion is looking strong, and for sure, in my opinion as well, being the favorite in this one, coming into this match. But either way, Reported were showing yesterday at least some crazy attacks, especially the Blizzard Lalo attacks were quite impressive. So let's see if they can make it again. But they're starting things off with a Queen Charge, and not a Queen Charge Dragon Rider, but instead a Queen Charge Lalo approach on this base of Shuya.
Well, agreement among the casters, but it's all up to the players to find out who's going to win. And let us know in chat if you're cheering on Repotted Gaming or Aphelion Esports. We always love to see those early predictions come through and be right one way or the other. But Kalinga, as you mentioned, will be attacking with a Queen Charge, holding off on those healers until he's confident that there's no sneaky air mines outside of that base to give them any trouble. Early activation for that Giga Inferno is unfortunately going to mean the loss of the Unicorn. That beloved pet is going to be going down. Archer Queen will still have some help from those healers, and with the 1-star already claimed, has just got to face off against some CC troops, given some artillery fire from afar, a barrage of fireworks from those super minions, but they will go down to poison in the end. Klinga is setting up for the Laloon strike against still three air defenses standing up. A bit of a difficult task for this Laloon hit. So expect to see some more work done by the Archer Queen before that deployment does go into effect, Itsu.
Yeah, and the jump spell really nicely placed, leading the Queen into the first multi-inferno tower, and from the next compartment, like if she's actually following that path, she could reach the next multi-inferno tower, the defending Queen, and so on. Now he's making the left side invisible just to reroute that Queen. So really smart move over there, making sure the Queen is pathing into the right direction. He wants to get the Queen into this dead zone compartment where he can reach, as I said, the defending queen, the multi-inferno tower, and so on. So this is looking so far incredible for him. He started the Lalo nice and early into the eagle on the right side, but this queen ability needs to be used. She's staying alive for now. He has no more rages at this point, so he needs to make sure that the Lalo and the queen are working together and tanking for each other. And this queen should stay alive for now, taking down the sweeper, taking down the multi-inferno tower, taking down the warden. And this charge is getting incredible value.
Some attackers will leave that queen pathing up the chance, but not Kalinga. Spends that spell capacity and ensures that she goes directly where he needs her most. Big traps exploding all over these poor balloons, though. Skeletons in the sky, seeking air mines and air bombs all over the place. And yet the main phase of the attack has already been completed. And with so many balloons left, I don't think that there's anything that can stop him at this point, Itsu.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many loons alive at this point. It's 25 seconds left, but with all of those pups, minions, and everything coming up, and even with that NATO trap, it won't change anything because this elixir storage is going to go down, guaranteed. And this means we have... Wait a second, this one bitter. I did not pay attention, but it should be still no problem whatsoever. Lassie is running, jumping, barking, and getting that bitter hut out. And this means 100% 3 stars for reported.
It wasn't even an upgraded builder hut. I wasn't even shooting back yet. What is this, Town Hall 13? Get your head in the game, builder. It's time to fire back at these attackers. They're giving you too much trouble. All right, well, that's going to be a win for Repotted Gaming right out the gate. The 3-star, giving them a little bit of hope as our final war here for these two clans will conclude shortly. Aphelion Esports, the favorite from our two casters, but I gotta say, Repotted did a great job on that first hit. Not necessarily a spammy attack either. A pretty well-planned and executed Laloon strike bodes well for their future performance. Let's send it back over to Aphelion, where Shoya will get the next say with a Skybrid Army 5 Dragon Riders and a pretty even spread between 6 Inferno Dragons and 2 regular Dragons, as well as 6 big loons in the sky. So, going to be doing a Sui hero dive a little bit later on, but starting off with the main army right out of the gate, Itsu.
Yeah, and then the classic blimp as well, making sure that this blimp is taking down the town hall. He's dropping those spells quite early, which is a big surprise, I feel like, because the multi-inferno tower is in range, which means the multi-inferno tower is kind of making the skeleton spell pretty much useless. Either way, the town hall is going down, which is the important thing, but all of those Dragon Riders right on top of the town hall poison, and you never want to see that. The town hall poison doing quite a bit of damage on those Dragon Riders, but the nice and helpful sweeper is pushing them outside of this town hall poison again. The question is this going to be enough? Because it feels like with the warden leaving the Inferno Dragons in the core, with that warden leaving everything behind at the top side, I don't know if that's going to be enough, because those Dragon Riders have no chance of defending themselves against this defending queen. But the skeleton spell should keep them safe for now. The Royal Champ is coming in as well. And this base is getting wrecked right now if that queen is going down. The queen being the last defense pretty much, which has a chance of defending. But with so many dragons coming from different angles, and even the Royal Champion shield, I have never seen that. The Royal Champion shield hitting that defending queen and taking her out, and Shoya is getting that 3-star, which was so important to tie this match up again, to make sure they're not falling behind early. That was an OP attack yet again.
Yeah, I think the quickest 3-star strike that we have seen today. I feel like I got a chance to set up and like glance at the army camp, tossed it off to you, and then I didn't have anything else to say for the rest of it. Just really wiped that base out, and tying that up now for Aphelion Esports with a dominant 3-star showing. So it's going to be back to Repotted Gaming now. They might have been happy for a couple of minutes with that first triple, but there is still a lot left to go if they want to claim victory over Aphelion Esports, a squad that put up a really impressive showing last round and has had a higher hit rate overall throughout the tournament. So good luck to them. Aphelion Esports, with a couple of 14 stars showing early on in this weekend, came up short against alternate attacks, but I think that was really a bit of an anomaly here. Teams scoring 1-star strikes when they were making really risky attempts at 3-star plays. So Repotted and Aphelion both expected to get at least 13 stars, I'd say, in this war. with maybe potentially going down to a tiebreaker or a victory for the team that's able to get the 14.
Yeah, that might be the case, depending on if Reported is able to kind of like get their back the momentum. So far, it looks really good for them. Getting the first 3-star with the Queen Charge Lalo, and then let's see what they're following up with. I feel like so far they had their own pattern, which means, if I'm not wrong, we could see Timtastic coming up next, and he did so far an incredible job with those Blizzard Lalo attacks, which were really impressive to watch. And they always started with some sort of a Queen Charge. The last match was a Queen Charge Dragon Rider with that 99% 2-star. This time was the same attacker with the Queen Charge Lalo. So for me, it's Timtastic coming up next with the Blizzard Lalo, and he so far was an incredible force to be reckoned with those Blizzard attacks. And the last time he took down 60% of the base just with his entry. That's already impressive, so let's see if he can do that yet again, or maybe someone else is taking his spot and attacking next. Either way, Reported should attack really soon, and let's see if they can push their lead or if they're falling behind early like the last match, Woody.
Yeah, we tend to think of that initial Queen Charge or Siege machine placement as kind of the opening for a bigger attack later on, but that has not been the style of attack all the way across the board for Reported Gaming, and especially with this really interesting Skelly Donut that we're seeing right into the center of the base, knocking down the Clan Castle and a multi-target Inferno. As long as they can dish out a little bit more damage. No! What? That is awful for Mech! Misses out on the key target, and with so much spell placement used. That is a big F in the chat for Mech. Unfortunate result for that early hit, Itsu.
Oh no, investing so much but not getting anything. That is unfortunate, as you said. I mean, the Queen should be now able to take down the defending Clan Castle right there, because there's nothing really in range. But this core multi-Inferno Tower not going down is a huge game changer. At least the Sweeper is going down, but now the defending Queen, like, we can see the plan now slowly evolving. But hey, let's see if he can somehow save this. It's not going to be an easy one, but maybe he is somehow able to push this through. The Queen finally is taking down the Lava Hound. Being able to heal against that with that Unicorn and being able to take down the Town Hall is great. Even getting a couple of Tesla over there as well. And now the Lado is starting. He's going into that scatter first. The scatter is starting shooting. But this core multi-Inferno Tower, this might be a huge problem for him, Woody.
He's doing his best to salvage this attempt, and he's got the 2 stars claimed from the Town Hall strike, but keep an eye out for the big multi-target Inferno in the center. That was the defense that he did not have a plan to follow up for. It is already starting to burn up on these troops on the outer edge. Balloons and Stone Slammers getting popped down. Will they be able to path into the center? Yes, the Stone Slammer and Balloons will go in there. Oh my goodness, how many traps has he got in that core? Kazuma saw this plan coming from a mile away, and still, I don't know if he's going to be able to stop it. Victory for Mech might still be within reach, despite that big investment early on that did not pay off. Really goes to show the overwhelming firepower of this Ice Hound balloon hit, that it is able to give up so much value early on and then still strike back for the 3-star, Itsu. Mech really had the last one.
I'm just speechless. Like, how did that still work? I mean, the core multi-Inferno Tower, not only you want to take that out because of pathing and everything, but as well, typically the traps are inside the core of this base. With taking down the core defenses, this means your loons, your troops do not have to go over there, which means they're never getting triggered. But both of that, like the pathing not got created, the traps still got triggered, and it's still a 3-star OP attack right there to showcase of the power of Lalo. And wow, that was an impressive attack, and I did not expect that with that entry. But apparently they're getting the next 3-star, and this means that Aphelion still has to go, like, has to push it all out, because it's not going to be easy, and Reported is not showing any weakness till now.
Yeah, a lot of times we see swag spells used at the very end of the attack when the 3-star is guaranteed, but essentially what you saw right there was a swag skelly donut in the center of the base that got 0 value and then following up to get the 3-star anyways. Excellent attack, and when you're able to surprise both casters, you really do have a lot going for you on that final hit. So well done there for Repotted Gaming. They are surging forward despite the difficulty that they faced, and it's back now to Emma to give another hit for Aphelion. Battle Blimp soaring on through, and we'll drop a lot of loons and a Dragon Rider here, knocking down an air defense builder pod and getting a little bit of value in the center there, but I got to question whether there was some bigger plan in mind. What was the key target there in that top compartment that he was aiming for there, Itsu?
No clue. Like, it's kind of like, were there any coconut loons whatsoever? Because it kind of felt like a misclick or something. I don't know. He maybe just wanted to create pathing, something. Not really sure. Either way, the Queen now targeting that town hall, getting rotated away, but it's not far enough, so the town hall is still going down. Now the question is this going to be enough, especially with this really wild blimp, right? And right early. And the Lava Hound is over there as well, which means as soon as he's dropping that king, the Hound is going to get lured over into the path of those dragons. And so far, I'm not really convinced yet about, like, with this plan. Warden ability needs to be used soon. The defending queen is doing quite some damage, but he's, like, I don't know, trying to be saving the Warden ability for deeper inside the base, but maybe then it's already too late, not sure.
So far, this attack is the most mysterious to me, and I just watched a Skelly Donut that got no value in the middle whatsoever. So Emma has either got some amazing tricks still up the sleeves, ready to deploy on this base, or this is just going to be a terrifying result for a dragon army that should have done way more against this base. Excellent base building here for Mech, who has surprised us now twice in a row, denying value out of that initial battle blimp drop in the top, and then having so many traps spread out to shut down this dragon offense from the bottom. This is potentially the lowest overall damage that we've seen from any attack so far, but let's not count it out yet. Still a lot of spell and hero placement to cap along the outer edge, which could do a solid bit of cleanup. I'm not thinking that 3 stars is anywhere within the realm of possibility, but could creep up that overall damage toward the 70% mark.
I mean, this attack is just a huge question mark to me. Trying to break the king inside, using the wall breaker way too late so the king is wandering around the outside. Royal Champion now is getting used over there, but to be honest, why the Royal Champion over there? Because at this point, it's quite obvious there's not going to be a 3-star, so maybe somewhere else where he could get more percentage. So, not really sure about this attack, but it's 80% 2-star at the end of the day, which is already a pretty solid defense, and this might already have a big impact on the outcome of this match, because, well, 80% defense is really solid. At the same time, we saw the 1-star earlier from Reported, so nothing is safe for sure. But so far, they're showing really strong attacks in this matchup. They're up next. So far, we have not seen Fantastic. I have to say that he feels like the superstar of this team because he's so consistent with his Blizzard Lado attacks. So waiting for that one for sure. But so far, his teammates are showing off as well. So maybe he's not even really needed to be really showing off what he really got in this one.
Yeah, a letdown to be sure from Aphelion Esports, coming back with a 2-star 80% on bewildering attack strategy there. But Mech has really done a great job with base building. And yeah, well, I guess we'll give all credit to Repotted on the defense there. It's back now to a 6-5 scoreline. And as we said before, the team that leads out of the first attack or two almost certainly is going to hold on to that through the mid and later war. Repotted Gaming performing extremely well on offense. And really surprising me. I guess it was really just the bases from alternate attacks that were giving them the most trouble earlier on in today, and they could really be the second best team in Germany after all.
Yeah, we have the next. I just was trying to figure out why why we're going to see a hybrid attack with that blimp. This is something which we're not seeing that commonly, especially like with the blimp completely on the other side of the base. Like, that is quite a big surprise, seeing that blimp getting used for the eagle. But hey, now the Queen charged into that tower compartment. He's getting the scatter, he's getting the bomb tower out of the way as well, which is a nice thing to get. And, I mean, overall, pretty decent value, but at the same time, this core multi-inferno tower is out of reach for him. So, this is going to be quite tricky because the timing with the hybrid needs to be on point. Then, obviously, oh no, he needs to start with the hybrid soon. Otherwise, this Queen is not going to go where she's supposed to go. She can reach the warden. Now, where is she going next? Is she going for the wall or is she going for the expo? She's going for the wall. She is just going for the wall. So those hybrid troops need to clear that compartment. Otherwise, she's in the wrong compartment. And that would be really bad news for Andy attacking this base now from Choco.
Yeah, widespread on this initial strike. Haven't seen very many of these ground hybrid armies, and dang, a lot of them getting sprung away by that spring trap. Grand Warden Eternal Tome, but like how many troops are really in there? It's still kind of hard to say. Andy has got a beautiful spread though with the Queen along the right side corner. Royal Champion right there in the center, and the main phase of this army still pathing beautifully along the left corner of the base, spreading out onto many defenses they possibly can. But keep an eye out for that scatter shot up top. That's still the big obstacle that Andy has left to deal with. Holding on to that ability as late as he can to help knock apart this top compartment, and a freeze spell on top. That is going to be some beautiful overkill by him, which will all but guarantee the 3-star for this base. Nothing left on the inside of these walls to stop him, and it's just clean up from here on out, Itsu.
Yeah, and I'm still wondering about, like, why did he use that blimp that early for the Eagle? Because, as we said, typically with the hybrid, we see the Siege Barracks on the outside supporting the King to push everything further inside the base with the hybrid. But on this one, a really interesting move, going for that Eagle early. He was too afraid of the Eagle shots, because those Eagle shots can actually one-shot your troops, your hybrid troops, your miners, your Hawk Riders, through a heal spell if it's like actually with a really unfortunate timing. So maybe he was just too afraid of that and wanted to get down the Eagle as quick as possible. So that might be the factor. Either way, as I said, a wonderful 3-star, getting the 3-star and making sure that they're keeping that lead. At this point, even if they defeated 3 stars, there's still quite a few percentages and a star behind. But for that, first they need to 3-star to make that somehow work. The next one is going to be interesting because they were able to come back always after the fail. I feel like the second attack always was like the problem at this point. We had in the second position the 1-star earlier, and now the low percentage 2-star. But right after that, they got back on track and they keep 3-starring. So maybe it's all right for them, and they just needed that motivation, I want to call it, to get back on work.
Well, the reports of the death of the hybrid army seem to have been greatly exaggerated. This might be an aerial meta, but those ground-based armies still do some work. And I've actually noticed, I think, more ground-based armies today than in the past. Bringing Yeti spam and like super witches and hybrid armies. There seems to be quite a bit of a ground contingent still remaining among the attackers from these 4 clans left in the Clash Masters Last Chance Qualifier. So excited to see the variability and versatility of the attackers as the last 2 wars come to a close. But it's going to be a big chew left for Chaco of Aphelion Esports against General X's base. Going sky high again with Lava Hound, and this time going to be bringing all 3 of them out in front of 31 balloons. Massive aerial bombardment following this hero dive in the left corner and bottom section as well, taking down air defenses as well as air targeting expos. You see a couple of ground targeting expos, 3 of them in fact, along the exterior compartments, but not going to cause any problems at all for a low hit, Itsu.
Yeah, but I think the biggest problem for him was that his queen is not going inside. She actually walked around the outside. Somehow the funnel was not set for her. So that's not the greatest news, I want to say, but at the same time, she did not miss too many things. So she still got the air defense from the outside. So the only thing which she did not take down was the ground expo, which is arguably not that important with an air attack. And the Builder Hut, which is as well not the biggest game changer right there. So Lado then is starting from that right side. Wait a second, that Lado so far is not looking that great, to be honest. More loons are coming from the top side. The Town Hall is pretty much the last building on this one. But he has more loons coming from the top side with so many more reinforcements, Woody. The Town Hall is just getting surrounded and has no chance of fighting back.
Really unfortunate result for General X with a great setup here, but just Choco read it perfectly and found a maximum value on the surround, finally getting a tornado trap to spring for him, but it is too little too late for General X. With an entire half of a Lava Hound's hit points still remaining, Choco just really overwhelmed this base in decisive fashion, and will finish off with plenty of time remaining, still holding on to a swag lightning spell of all things to clean this base off and claim that triple. Aphelion Esports continues an impressive run, but having missed that 3-star in their second strike, will still be behind Repotted Gaming, which has just been on a tear offensively for the first 3 hits so far.
Yeah, really great attack. And it feels like so far both teams really like those Lado attacks as well. Both teams are showing off how to use them. Really nicely done. And now it's back to Repotted to see how they can keep it going. So far, they are 3 out of 3, so on a good way into the 3rd seed position for this Last Chance Qualifier, which is obviously not only giving them a little bit more money, but as well giving them the better seeding going forward into the playoff then round. So far it looks great for them, but they have to keep the pressure high because Aphelion is showing off that they are not showing any weakness now after this one slip up. So nicely done to Aphelion, but now it's back to Repotted getting in maybe the next 3-star, maybe not. We're going to see in just a couple of seconds. I have to say, looking forward to that. And I think we're going to see another Lado attack in this next one. That will be my prediction going into this one.
Maybe so. I'd love to see it. It's a great attack strategy for when you've had a good bit of time to plan and prepare, but we've actually seen Lalo used in early hits as well from these two clans who are really racking their brains trying to find the best way to deconstruct whatever is set up against them. They know that this is the last war for them in the Clash Masters qualification period before the playoffs, and so they are really doing everything that they can to put it all on the line, send it out there. You're not holding on any bases right now. You're putting everything that you had out there. So, you know, all 4 of these clans knew that they would have 2 wars today. They must have certainly brought 10 bases prepared for their opponents to have to attack, and are now just executing on all that planning that they have been working on for many weeks leading up to this event. They know that the playoffs are going to be just ahead of them, and so that big prize in the COC World Championship Silver Wildcard ticket on the line means that they've got a lot to fight for. So we are hopping in actually really quick into this attack by General X from Repotted Gaming. He's brought the Dragon Rider army here with a little bit of insulation out in front from those ice golems, backing it up with rocket loons on the other end. Itsu?
Yeah, we remember that attack strategy from earlier, and that was not a great ending for General X. So let's see if that blimp yet again is getting baited, because, oh no, he is sending the blimp yet again across the base. There's the warden ability, and now we have to follow that blimp. Is the blimp reaching the town hall? That's the question. No! Yet again! He found again the NATO trap. What is going on? He's like the, I don't know, like somehow he's having, I don't know, like it's magic. I don't know, magic work that he's always finding that that NATO with his blimp. That's crazy. Twice in a row, and the town hall is not going down. And now Repotted should not. If they're getting yet again the 1-star with this attack strategy, they maybe should stop it, because so far it's not seems like it has any success for them. Queen alive with her ability, but what?
Yetis again from the battle.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a terrible joke. For the remainder of the hit, though, he's got to rely just on those 3 Dragon Riders, which he has been holding in his pocket for this whole time. A massive offensive army ready to be deployed, and yet General X is just kind of sitting there, arms crossed around his chest, furrowing his brow, wondering where he can set them up for maximum effect to still get the town hall down, which he now finally does. And with 50 seconds left for cleanup, has still got a decent shot here. Needs to protect these Dragon Riders from that single target Inferno, though, holding onto the freeze, and unfortunately, just gonna give away a Dragon Rider, gonna give away a second Dragon Rider. really think that he might have still had a shot there if he had used that free spell earlier on. But nonetheless, wanted to save it for that big Royal Champion defending in that bottom compartment. She will go down eventually, but too much left to ask of these minions for cleanup. And a 2-star for Repotted Gaming as their offense finally tripped up by Aphelion Esports' defense.
Yeah, I mean, I hope I hope they're not going to use it then in the playoffs, because so far this strategy had not that great success in this tournament, or at least for Reported Gaming in this one. It's cool to watch, you have to say, like this hero dive with the Warden and then the Farsight Blimp. It looks cool, but every single time finding that NATO, it's not as cool, I believe, as attacker. Like, it is not that cool, but at the same time, even if Aphelion Esports are going to 3-star, they still have the percentage lead, because Aphelion had the 80% 2-star. This now we're like a 92%, so still 12% lead right there. And maybe a star, we're going to see that in the next attack, depending on what exactly the star count is going to be for Aphelion after this next attack.
Well, the Wind Gambit denied on offense. That Battle Blimp spun around by an impressively placed Tornado Trap. That's something that you've got to start to come to expect, though. Tornado Traps are usually placed to intercept where you would expect a Battle Blimp to be going. And oftentimes they're going, if not directly for that Town Hall, at least, you know, always on a path toward it. And so interception there by defense was a great read by Aphelion Esports. They're going to be on offense now as Kazuma has brought another aerial strategy, the Lava Hound. One of them now to back up the Queen Charge into the top compartment there. Big value earned by her, and as soon as she can knock that air sweeper down, but wait, is she going to go in there to that compartment after all? What's going on here?
I think he wants to get the Queen into the core. Like, he's going to wall break into the air defense compartment with the Expo. Then he's going to wall break his King into the compartment with the Scatter Shot and the Royal Champion. And with this, all of the compartments are open, and this means the third wall breaker is going to target the core compartment, because that one is going to be closed. He needs to wait, though, until this Bitter Hut is gone, otherwise it's not going to work. Otherwise, this compartment is still counting as a compartment for the wall breakers. They sometimes are a little bit strange, but as soon as this Bitter Hut is going down, and it went down, he should be able to target this core gold storage, which is hiding behind the wall. So let's see. There we go. Gold storage is getting targeted by this wall breaker, and he has access to the entire core, being able to take down both sweepers and the multi-inferno tower and the defending clan castle right there.
Super Wall Breaker keeps rolling in. Archer Queen has taken all the way down to basically 0 hit points twice now, but with raged up healers, that is all that Kazuma needs to keep her on task, healthy and happy for this charge. Single target Inferno on both sides of the Town Hall in the bottom compartment, though, could be a tricky entry point for her. One of them already gets the lock, and Kazuma's going to have some fancy footwork. He wants to keep her safe, either the ability or the invisibility spell to get her back up. But with a Seeking Airmine popping down a healer, it looks like that might be close to the end of her run. Meanwhile, though, Balloon's going to be soaring in from the left side with that Lava Hound to try to back them up. There's no more air defenses left in this base, but boom, boom, double air bombs knocking a few of them down. Kazuma really holding on strong, an itchy trigger finger for that Grand Warden ability, but he will wait until his balloons make it to the Town Hall, Itsu.
Yeah, and there's the Warden ability now, keeping everything alive through that Town Hall Poison. There's the next haste to make sure that they're leaving that Town Hall Poison quick enough again. And there's 4 more loons, which he has not even deployed yet. They're coming in now. Royal Champion ability needs to be used now to make sure that this Inferno Tower is going down. And the Royal Champion ability is coming out. The Hound is popping, and with 18 seconds left, Kazuma has done it. He is getting the 3-star for Aphelion. And this means this match is now tied up on stars again. And we have to take a look at the percentage. Percentage is still looking good for Repotted, but at the same time, this match just got way closer with those last 2 attacks. And this means, well, Repotted, if they're 3-star, they're going to win. If they're 2-star, Aphelion has the chance of coming back, and this match is staying interesting, staying close. Repotted has everything in their own hands.
All right, you are. The 14-star would be decisive, and that would be coming in over the top for Repotted Gaming. One of the best performances that they have had in the Clash Masters series, but you would expect nothing less for the last war that they will be fighting today, this bronze match qualification, an opportunity to get third place in a tournament. You know, not at the very top, but definitely staying in the minds of the Clashers out there who are going to be going on to the playoffs next week. You know that those other qualified teams are keeping an close eye on the attack strategies and the approaches used by these teams. So getting a top 3 placement here, something high on their minds. And with a tight race right now between Repotted and Affiliate Esports, it's all going to be coming down to this very last attack. Excited to see how this shapes up, and it's going to be another bit of an atypical one. We're bringing in a Skybrid army, but this time it's going to be the Dragon Riders joined by a Laloon approach. 9 rocket balloons, in fact. Timtastic has got a joyful assault for us to watch next. This is going to be a learning opportunity for a lot of people on this stream, Itsu.
Wow, so much value already. Now he's using that... Wait a second, was this Hound? I feel like this Hound was supposed to fly different, because I don't know if that Hound was even needed. But wait a second, this blimp is flying into the core of this base. The base builder never ever expected this entry, and with this he has access to a lot of different things, being able to fly into the core of this base. But those super wizards, those invisibility spells, they're not working against those heroes. He wants to take down the Queen and the Royal Champion. He at least got that Royal Champion down. The Queen, though, is staying up, and now the Clan Castle is running across. And the question is, was this enough value? He is going in with the Dragon Riders after that, so he's not even bringing the the Lalo after that, what he's done so great recently. He is bringing the Dragon Riders to the party, and I'm still pretty surprised by this first Hound, but either way, he got the blimp to work, and now it's all about getting down this Town Hall.
Seems like a little bit of an awkward and maybe even frustrating spread out here for Timtastic to have to deal with, but he's brought a tailor-made army for this base, having already knocked down a scatter shot, big target, as well as an air targeting expo, Builder Hut, and a hero in that top compartment. He may not have gotten a decisive victory yet, but still is getting solid value as he marches through the bottom side. What I'm starting to get worried about now, though, Itsu, is going to be the time remaining for this attack. He has spent so much of it setting up for these Dragon Riders. They're finally deployed with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. This is the latest Stage 2 strike that we have seen yet today for Clash Masters, and might ultimately be what leaves Timtastic in a lurch, holding out hope for the 3 stars, but he is going to have to go on a mighty fast assault to get it done.
Yeah, with 42 seconds left, those Dragon Riders really need to hurry up. He's going for the invisibility spell for the Royal Champion and for the King at the same time to make sure that this defending King is not dealing too much damage. But those minions are getting taken down by those red bombs. And now time is ticking non-stop. The Headhunter is running across. Headhunter needs to take down the tip. Oh, the Spring Trap taking down the Headhunter. The Headhunter would have been kind of great to actually make sure that this King is not moving around too quick, because even though, yes, the King is not fighting back, but the King is tanking quite a bit as well. And this means this King is stalling quite a bit with 5 seconds left. This is not going to be enough. And this means Aphelion has another chance of living another day, because they can win this match with getting the last 3-star. The last attack is a 3-star, and they will turn the match around after Repotted missing out on the 2-star, on the 3-star with 2%.
Well, in Repotted's favor, that 2-star with a really, really high percentage makes it impossible for Aphelion to catch up with just any old 2-star. Even a 2-star 99%, and Aphelion still wouldn't have the percentage there. So, as you mentioned, nothing short of a triple going to be sufficient for Affiliate Esports to come back in it. But our prediction may hold true after all, Itsu. We thought Affiliate Esports had the upper hand here, and if they can follow through with their last strike, they will get the victory after all. Big Battle Blimp is going to get to the desired compartment, pops through, and ooh, with a giant bomb exploding, it is not going to be an easy run for those Yetis. They crack into a crucial battlefield. Don't get very many shots at all on the Archer Queen. No damage, in fact. But I think Garakuta found what he was looking for there.
Yeah, getting that clan castle out of the core of this base is a nice move, and we have now the queen. I think he's trying to get her to the right side of this base, but the question is the defending queen making any problems? There's the wall break. That wall break did not work. I feel like he wanted to get into the wizard tower. Wait a second, did this work? What is the plan right now? I'm really confused by where he's trying to break, because the queen can't reach. Wait, what is the? Why does he blimp that compartment then? I'm just confused right now. What is this plan all about? Typically, you try to queen shot the tower, but those wall breaks are a complete different plan right now. The queen, though, is walking around and getting to that compartment, but I feel like at this point, this attack is just like on freestyle mode, because I don't see this being the plan.
Well, I guess I'd say in his favor, by using the blimp early on, he reduced the number of buildings that were defending against this queen charge, and so he might have saved himself some spell capacity there. Holding on to 2 rage spells, a couple of actually 3 freeze and 2 invisibilities. He's got a lot left to still throw onto this attack. 4 Dragon Riders and a nice complement of minions to back him up in the top side. Could go the distance here. No real big obstacles against that massive attack, and he's got that rage spell dropped in there right on time. Royal Champion supported as well, holding on to her ability with the Eternal Tome to protect. Archer Queen's having a little bit of difficulty cracking through the wall in the bottom section there to deal with this Eagle Artillery, but the attack is still going swimmingly well. Garakuda had an awkward entry, but he is sashaying through and might still get this triple after all, Itsu.
I mean, he has 40 seconds left. The Royal Champion is going strong, but has no ability left anymore. The giant bombs are taking her down. And now it's all about the backhand. Can this be enough time? It's going to be yet again a time race, because all of the Dragon Riders died out. He has used the queen ability to fight against the defending king, but with that, I don't know if he's going to be quick enough through the backhand. Would he? It's 20 seconds, but as well, 14% still left in this base. I don't think he got it.
Chaining lightning all throughout. He's doing everything he possibly can. He's throwing out the final spell, and all he can do is cross his fingers, hope and pray. But 5 seconds is just not going to be enough for the back end of this base, which was really crumbling apart. All you've got are a couple of point defenses still left inside the walls, and it wasn't much, but it was just enough. Repotted Gaming hold on by the skin of their teeth, and that's going to be a victory. A 13-13 star, super tight match, but Repotted Gaming will clinch victory on the tiebreaker. Very slim overall damage win for them. The closest war I think we've seen so far this week, but close counts still in the end. Congratulations to Repotted Gaming on getting 3rd place in the ClashMSTRS Last Chance Qualifier. Aphelion Esports qualifying for the playoffs as well with their 4th place finish. And we are going on to the grand finals in just a little while, Itsu.
That's right. We have our finals on the hand with a really crazy matchup. We have Alternate, the world champion of last year's, going against the team of Team Zex. They did an incredible job earlier, and well, this is how the bracket looks. Team Alternate versus Team Zex right there. We're going to have this final in just a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere, because we are right back after this really short break.
Welcome back to Clash Masters! We have got our finals for the Last Chance Qualifier, and man, have we been hammering away at this one for a long time, but we will finally get our ending! Alternate Attacks versus Team Zex. I'm Woody, joined here by Itsu, and we are so privileged to cast this final event. What are your initial thoughts, Itsu?
I just can't wait to see how the finals is going to play out. We have seen Alternate kind of struggling today a little bit on offense, but their defense is as good as usual. Like, they're getting so many 1-stars in this competition, and I have to say I'm looking forward to see if they can make it yet again as well in the finals of the Clash Masters Last Chance Qualifiers. It's not going to be easy, but they're doing it in such consistent way, getting those 1-stars on defense. And wow, I have to say, that's going to be the key thing I want to look out for, seeing the defenses and if they're holding strong, or if we're going to see a really offensive-heavy final in this last match.
Well, Alternate Attacks did falter a little bit in their last war, pulling down to 13 stars, but they pulled up perfect wars in the past, especially against Golden X, a 15-9 scoreline, the most decisive that we have seen in any Clash Masters war in the past 4 weeks that I can recall at any rate. So victories over Golden X and King's Circle, then Justifellian Esports a few short hours ago, I think has given them a lot of momentum, but they are not invincible by any means. Loss to RTK is in fact the reason why they are here now instead of having qualified in the first 3 weeks. So I would definitely give them the upper hand, as of course we can say it again, they are the reigning world champions from the Clash of Clans World Championship last year. But Team Zex has really shown a lot of chutzpah. They've been surging in their performance, having picked up 13 stars in their wars earlier in this weekend, but now a perfect war against Repotted Gaming. They're the underdogs in my book, but they have got a solid shot and could get that top seeding placement from victory here and now.
Yeah, they could for sure. Like, I mean, it's Annie's match over here for sure. But I have to say as well that Alternate were looking really strong in those first couple of matchups. I don't know if they're, maybe that's an important thing to note as well, like moving forward. I don't know if they're going to use again their second accounts, which they used in the first semifinal match, because, well, they're playing ESM Mobile Open as well, so a lot of tournaments are going on. So this might be something which we have to think about as well, like going into this. We have the first attack on our hands, and we have Vale. By the way, this is exactly why this is called Vale Z. We have Vale on our hands, coming in on this base with a dragon attack, and he is bringing the bats to the party. So let's see if those bats can cruise to the backhand like they usually do, or if they have no chance against Wizard Towers, Multi-Inferno Towers, and maybe scatter shots, Woody.
It is really a thrill and an excitement for Clash of Clans to have completed its 9th anniversary now, starting its 10th year, going strong now and getting even bigger and better on the esports scene, with multiple big events taking place this week, leading up, of course, to our Clash of Clans World Championship this weekend. We've got a silver wildcard ticket on the line for Clash Masters. The playoffs next week will determine which team gets it. But right now, it's all up to Vale to try to get that top placement and seeding for his squad. Alternate Attacks moving in hot with that big aerial army, but really getting burnt up early on here. Those dragons having a tough time with Inferno Towers and air defenses on the outer edge of the base. Eagle Artillery raining down and slowing as well. Seeking Air Mines popping that Stone Slammer and slowing with that Tornado Trap. Volley having a tough time on the entry here, Itsu.
Yeah, especially with that sweeper, and now the Lava Hound coming off the Clank Cards as well, which is huge bad news for him. But maybe if he can take down the back and get a shot now with the Royal Champion, this is good news for him again, because he is still having the bats. This is something which you have to remember. The core has been taken down, and the King is still tanking. There are the bats coming in. He has to freeze this Multi-Inferno Tower and the Wizard Tower together, and on the back end there's only one Wizard Tower remaining.
Nice.
If he can take down the Multi and the Wizard Tower and the Dragons, I don't know how he's doing that, but they're just not dying. The bats are going through. There is a rocket on the back end, but the Wizard Tower is shooting.
He tried to get that rocket balloon there in time to block for those bats, but just a little bit late. Nevertheless, though, it is going to be a 3-star after all. Vale losing lots of dragons, but with plenty brought to finish the fight. This is going to be a triple after all. Congratulations to him and the alternate attack squad on a well-executed attack. This plan went off great. Can't say it went off perfectly or without a hitch, but in the end, it's all that matters. He got the 3 stars after all.
Yeah, and you have to consider that he did attack with non-maxed pets, and I don't know why exactly, but he used a level 2 slammer as well, so a lot of non-maxed troops on his scroll bar right there, still getting it done. Vale OP, but now it's back to Team Zex, and they somehow need to make their attacks count, because we saw it earlier, teams falling behind early against alternate. That's not the position you want to be in, facing off against them. This is horrifying, and this is not something which you're aiming for. So they want to get started strong, and they want to get started with a 3-star. That's what they have to go for, to make sure that they're not showing any weakness to alternate, because those guys are going to use that for sure against you. Team Zex so far were looking pretty strong, but they used a lot of air strategies, which so far Team Alternate on the other side have defended with great success. So it's like the anti-air team versus the air team in the finals. So what is stronger? The defense of Alternate and their NATO traps against the blimps, or the offense of Team Zex?
Yeah, you make a really good point there. I was hyping up Team Zex off of their perfect war in the semifinals, but the fact that all of that attack relies so heavily on finding bases that aren't set up to defend against their preferred strategy might be their Achilles heel in the end. Uzi will indeed switch to the ground. He's moving in with a P.E.K.K.A smash that has brought 4 P.E.K.K.As. Big, heavy, slashing mama is going to be going in against these really souped up walls that Sir Iron's got here. Not maxed out entirely, but it's going to be difficult to chop through them. That's why Uzi has brought 2 super wall breakers as well as 2 jump spells to hurdle over these hedges and get around to those big key compartments. Keep an eye out on that bottom central compartment with the Town Hall and single target Inferno that can burn through a P.E.K.K.A or hero in no time flat. Warden Walk, an unconventional start here for Uzi, but with lots of long-range damage, he ought to be able to get down that scatter shot early on here. Just going to have to spend some time to get it out of the picture.
Yeah, and it's around about 1 minute gone of the attack so far. The base looks good for P.E.K.K.A Smash for sure, especially with the lock launcher, but so far it looks like he is going to go with the Siege Barracks, which is so risky, you have to say it. I mean, there is no backup plan. It's a 3-star pretty much, or it's going to be a 1-star, one of those two. And so far the Queen is staying alive with that last second rage, so nicely done. There is the first jump, the second jump is going to lead into the tunnel compartment. And now the King is getting pushed inside the scatter compartment on the other side. But is this strong enough to push to the core? Push into the Town Hall. Warden ability not used just yet. A huge mistake in my opinion, because all of the Super Wizards just died. So I don't know if that was the right choice. Either way, now the Warden ability, but there are already the Hog Riders coming in. And I don't know if this Town Hall is in reach for him, because the healers are staying as well on that Queen. And this attack right now is looking like huge chaos. But is he the master of chaos? That's the question.
Well, what some people call chaos, others will call it opportunity. Uzi is still holding onto a jump spell. There goes. The final one is now deployed, and that'll give him the entry point he needs into the last compartment. Lots of pups in the skies are kind of clouding my vision here now, but it looks like he still has 2 really relatively healthy P.E.K.K.As to chop through. That single target Inferno could be a problem for him on the back end. He doesn't have any more spells to help protect those poor P.E.K.K.As. One of them gets burnt up. The second one locks onto the Royal Champion. She tosses out her shield, but misses the single target Inferno. Can the Queen get the job done? That single target Inferno burns another P.E.K.K.A up, melts it down into scrap metal, but that is going to be the last and final shot the Queen needed. Takes out the single target Inferno, will knock down these skeletons, but no healers are left. Where did the healers go, Itsu?
The healers just disappeared, with the current meta being air, which means you want to counter it, you want to put those black mats in the core. But this, by the way, is countering those healers as well if you go through the entirety of the base. So the attack falling short, not paying off in this one. This is the first defense, and they were thinking like, hey, we're doing it the smart way. We're not falling in their traps with those really good anti-air bases, but instead they're going with the ground, which has not worked either. So now they have to go with a different plan, a different approach on those bases, because so far Alternate is having everything in their own hands with this 3-star already, and a really solid defense already on their hands as well. Going with the next attack, and if they're getting yet again another 3-star, match is looking good for them, that they might be the first seed coming into the playoffs from the Last Chance Qualifier in this Clash Masters Cup overall.
Well, the first 2 attacks are already on the board. Alternate attacks with a strong lead and showing that they can repel the aerial firepower from Team Zex. Ast will be the next attacker, and it is going to be another Skybrid. 9, to count them, 9 dragons here to support these 3 dragon riders, and you can expect to see a gigantic wave of destruction from that left side corner now. Early Eternal Tome to protect against this air defense and the Eagle artillery firing down. 2 air defenses claimed right on the entry point here is a big pickup for Ast. He's got 2 more to focus on, 1 in that Town Hall compartment, and 1 over on the right side of the base with that scatter shot defending it. Can he get that Royal Champion into the right corner compartment and knock those big 2 targets down? If he can, I think Ast is going to be perfectly set up for the triple.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if that's going to work. The clone spell is making sure that there are enough loons to take down the town hall, I think. But the Superman is taking down this Dragon Rider easily, but the backhand is not looking that strong anymore. Like, yes, the Royal Champion still, is placing the Royal Champion up from the right side, but there are X-bows left. But the Royal Champion is going strong. A couple of dragons are tanking those X-bows, but with the Black Mine coming up as well, still looking good, I think. Woody coming in for the backhand. Arcana's base is struggling against those heroes. Queen alive, bottom side. He has 1 freeze left. Is he going to use it? There we go for the air defense. The air defense should go down. And I think, Woody, this should secure the 3-star. What do you think?
Nicely done. Yeah, he's not going to grab that air defense just yet. Dragon's having a bit of a difficulty rocking onto it, but because he froze that air defense, the Dragons were able to take down the cannon, and that just gives a lot more breathing room for that Archer Queen and for the Royal Champion charging on through. Even the Electro Owl is giving a little bit of trouble over here for that Dark Elixir storage. Gets the kill in the end. Rare to see the Electro Owl getting the final blow off there, but the Zippy Zaps have done it. Fire from the sky, knocking it down and shutting that base out of contention. Alternate attacks are now 2 for 2 on their first 2 strikes. 6 stars to their name, Itsu.
That's right. So far they were going perfect, and now it's back to Team Zex, and they need the 3-star. If they're not going to 3-star, it's hard. It's hard to stay inside this match. So if they go into 3-star, they might still have the chance, because Alternate might slip up 1 or 2 attacks still. Match obviously from their side not over yet, but they're not going to leave a lot of doors open. So you want to make sure that you're staying close to them and somehow staying inside this match. Question though still is, what are they going for now? Ground has not worked. So far Alternate did an amazing job of defending air. So what are they going for? Is it now ground, air, air, ground? Queen charge, maybe something different. We have to see what the solution might be for them and what the final decision is looking like for them. What strategy they think might be the best answer to the basis of Alternate. We're going to see that in just a couple of seconds, Woody, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what they should do at this point. Like, maybe just air and hope for a bad NATO? Not sure.
Yeah, well, it is the sign of a really good base building squad that there is no easy answer as to how to attack the base. The fact that we've seen so many wars start off with aerial attacks from both squads, and then Team Zex opens up with a P.E.K.K.A. smash strategy, that is very atypical, and really is giving a lot of credit to the base building from Alternate Attacks, that they were just feeling so overwhelmed that even with the strength that they have in the air and the reliability that you have with those Dragon Rider hits, they still chose to go with a P.E.K.K.A. smash. So I think that indicates that Alternate Attacks have got great base building that Team Zex just doesn't know how to deal with, and with 2 3-stars already on the board, Alternate Attacks seem to be the walk-away favorites almost even before this war has begun. Let's give Soichi his due, though. Team Zex moving in next with 6 dragons and 4 dragon riders, as well as the Electro Dragon. More Skybrid comps brought to bear. So we are indeed going to be going into the skies. Keep an eye on these 4 air defenses. They're kind of in the second layer section within this base and relatively well spread out to make it difficult for any one big deployment to take out the entirety of it. So Soichi is going to be going in hard on the top left side. Line of dragons will be soaring in fourth, but will it be enough to get the triple, Itsu?
That's the good question. Where's that blimp coming? I feel like the attack is falling and maybe going for the full distance depending on that blimp. If he's getting the town hall, I think he's looking great. If the town hall is baited yet again versus like with the blimp, for example, with the NATO, for example, I think this base... Nope, this town was going down, so I think this is looking good for him, even though the Hound came out. But still, with that freeze on the back end, with the Royal Champion taking down the single Inferno Tower, he is looking good. Because the bottom side, there is no air defense left, and those Dragon Riders are just overpowering those defenses. He has 1 heal, he has 1 rage, he has 1 freeze, so a lot of spells still left, which he has not even deployed just yet. So when is he going to use them? Is he even going to use them? That's the big question. And so far it looks like he's going to not use the heal. He's not going to use the rage. Never mind. He's going to use the rage. He's going to use the heal, but kind of in swag fashion, I would say. Not really needed. Yeah. And this was an OP attack. Still, you have to consider that this base of Vale is not maxed completely. But I mean, a 3-star in this matchup, so that's everything what counts. And Team Zex is staying close.
It's not max, but he's got so many dragons left. I think Soichi could have handled it, even if it wasn't. Those skeleton traps really did abuse the Dragon Riders over on the bottom corner of the base there, and were tricky for him to deal with. But I think Soichi, as you mentioned, got really good value from them knocking down the defenses early on in the hit. And yeah, coming out with a 3-star. Nothing to be sad about, nothing to be ashamed about there. Team Zex might be behind by just that 1, but remember, they got a really high percentage 2-star strike with their first hit. And we've seen turnarounds from a bigger margin of victory than this one here and now. Alternate attacks starting off strong, bodes well for them. I think that they've got this one, but we'll see how the third attack goes on. As the attacks proceed, we find that the hit rate tends to stay high and get even higher if they wind up using those sophisticated, well-planned attacks like Lava Loon. So I'm eager to see what they bring in next, Itsu. How about you?
Yeah, looking forward to that for sure. I feel like they will still do their classic attacks, which they like to run. So, for example, everyone is doing their common attack strategies. So I think Boom will go again with Blizzard most likely. Yo-Yo is really flexible though. He likes P.E.K.K.A Smash, for example, but as well a lot of Lalo variations. So looking forward to see what his final call is going to be strategy-wise. But either way, they should go in hard, and so far they are still looking good with being 2 out of 2 so far. We have Iron still left as well. I think he's going to play in this matchup as well, which is going to be Queen Charge, Dragon Riders maybe. Again, that's what he did the last time with a great success as well against the base. And either way, I think they're well set up against the bases. The question though is it going to be enough to get the 3-star? Is the planning going to be enough to get the 3-star and get the lead even further? Because so far, most of the teams getting this lead early were able to push it all the way. Alternate should go in next, and there we go. Boom is in. Wait a second. What is he doing? He is having 15 rocket loons, 4 healers, a lock launcher, 5 skeleton spells for... Boom. You know, this is the finance buddy, so you need to make sure that you're using its strategy, which is supposed to work. But, I mean, this is going to be a crazy... Whatever. Let's see how he's going to do it. Skelly Donut for the Town Hall. Are you kidding? Okay. Woody. I don't know what's going on.
It's big damage, whatever it is, and it's impressive to watch. You got to hold out hope for him that this final invisibility spell is going to be enough to crack into the Town Hall. He's only holding on to 1 single rage spell. Boom! Bomb Tower tosses it off, and that's going to be it for that attack. Town Hall is standing. Now, Captain Planet or Boom did manage to get down that clan castle, but what?
The warden died. I think he had the air warden with him, and then the healers died as well somewhere. Like, what is going? I mean, we know they're on vacation, but maybe they are having a little bit too much fun over there. because I don't know what's going on, but this attack is falling apart really quickly. He has no Warden left, he has no Warden ability left, and he has 13 Rocket Loons. How is he even supposed to get the Town Hall? Boom, what is going on, buddy? I don't know if he's going to get the Town Hall at this point.
Heart-wrenching result for Boom. The log launcher is getting it even further down, but Royal Champion's already used her ability. Has it really come to this? Are we really relying on Ice Golems to try to take down the Town Hall? Is that the last best hope? The freeze is out. Can they finish off the Expo even? I mean, there's two of them there, so he's going to get another... He has raged the Ice Golem! Ladies and gentlemen, the unthinkable has occurred. A raged Ice Golem attacking a Town Hall. And yet, that's going to be too short. The 1 star for alternate attacks. Let that sink in. Teams X have now found the biggest possible opening that they could hope for. 7 stars now for alternate attacks. And if Teams X gets the triple next off, they will have equalized and come over the top. Even just a reliable, strong 2-star hit from Teams X could be enough to get the percentage lead over alternate attacks now, sitting at 89% average destruction.
Yeah. This attack was really uncommon. I mean, so many things did go wrong. Not only the Warden walk on air with losing all of the healers right away, but as well, the Skeleton Donut itself did go wrong as well. He wanted to get the Town Hall with those skeleton spells and the rage and everything, but the Royal Champion lured all of the skeletons away from the Town Hall, which then caused the Town Hall not to go down. So a lot of things happening not in his favor at the end of the day. It was a cool idea, but I don't know. It was the right one. Maybe, as I said, I mean, they're all together. Maybe it wasn't too much fun over there, which they had. But either way, it was an interesting approach, I want to say. But this means, as you said, Team X has for sure the chance of coming back in this one and have the chance of making the comeback possible for the first seed in this Last Chance Qualifier to go in the playoffs. The first seed is quite important because this means you're dodging out on a couple of top teams on the other side then, which might be a good thing to do.
Yeah, I'm crunching the numbers right now, and like even a pretty low percentage 2-star hit would have Team Zex in the lead. They had some really high percentage strikes early on. That 2-star that they did pick up, leaving them with a 96.5% average. So yeah, even just kind of a middling 2-star strike would be enough to get them ahead. But let's not count out the defenses yet for alternate attacks. You know, they have shown us so many incredible hits so far, and they really do make it look easy a lot of the times. But you saw on that last hit why even just a 1 tile placement difference can mean the difference between an entire star or maybe even 2 and walking away with a bitter defeat. Rita, the next attacker for Team Zex, has got 3 skeleton spells. Bit of an atypical setup there, especially when I don't see any real scary single target infernos except the one in the bottom compartment. Builder Hut trying to heal that one back up, but keeping that Inferno Dragon safe from it with that skeleton spell down at the bottom. Doing good work along the top side as well. Those heroes spreading out and crushing through that top compartment too.
Yeah, and so far this looks really good for him because I think we already saw this base earlier in a similar attack on this base already and was really crushing on this one. But the question is, can they repeat it again against this base? Because so far it seems like the Multi-Inferno Tower would keep being up. There's the skeleton spell, but in between of 2 Multi-Inferno Towers, the skeleton spell, to be honest, is not doing that much. But with the bottom side, we have 2 Dragon Riders still being over there and quite healthy, and we know how powerful they are, taking down the last couple of defense. It seems like 1 freeze still remains. Is this going to be enough to get through the 2 Multi-Inferno Towers? That's the question. There's the freeze. There's the Dragon Riders flying across, but the Red Bomb is not dealing enough damage for taking down one of the Dragon Riders. The Inferno Tower, though, does. But, Woody, this is just too much HP for this Multi-Inferno Tower to handle, and it's going down, and Team Zex is getting the 3-star to pushing their lead to get this win, maybe against Alternate.
Not a good day if you are the manager for this army camp up here. A massive charge toward the top corner. Boom! Popping it down. Rita with the triple. Pulls ahead now for Team Zex. The rarity of the day to see a World Championship team start out ahead and then slip up and fall behind now. They've got a couple of attacks to try to make the comeback happen for their own part. But yeah, the story has just really been turned on its head. The world turned upside down, Itsu. Alternate attacks falling right now in the finals and really having to shape up or ship out with just 2 shots left.
Yeah, it's not an easy task at all. I'm looking forward to see if they are just like right now, just having fun and just want to like, I don't know, go for
You're
yet again another
too
creative
much.
attack.
No excuses.
Or,
I don't want to hear it.
I mean, let's see
fun.
what the... I mean, come on, this was not a normal attack strategy which we have seen right there. Skelly Donut for the Town Hall, and then like mass rocket loons, like, I don't know. Either way, let's see what they're going in with. If they're going to use meta strategies, or if they're going to keep using off-meta strategies. Let's put it like this, okay? To see what their final decision is going to be. Either way, for making sure that they're maybe are still being... So having the chance of getting this victory, they would need to get a double 3-star and somehow have some really good defenses still. But it's not going to be an easy task because so far Team Zex is looking really strong. We have to admit that. They were having an impressive showing so far and challenging the world champion right here.
Well, all right. 3 attacks from each team. Alternate attacks next up to bat. Capping out at 13 stars against a team that just put up a perfect war. It has been surprising in their ability to overcome really tough bases built by the alternate attack squad. Sir Iron is a metallic force of destruction, moving hard in this bottom section with the battle blimp early on, not wasting any time at all. And with the rage and invisibility, boom, they're going to pop out and zip zap all their way through this compartment, cracking down on heroes, builders' huts, and making a big chunk carved out of the space.
Yeah, getting quite a bit. The Super Wizards, though, left the rage, which means it's less damage of them, but they took down the compartment. There are the Rocket Loons to lure over the Clan Castle. And this is yet again quite an interesting attack strategy right there. The Lalo with the Rocket Loons. Okay, Iron, let's see how he's going to...
as well.
I mean, it's a lot of Rocket Loons in this attack, offense and defensive-wise. I mean, Queen is now charging into the tunnel direction, trying to take that out. Where is he going to send in the King and the Royal Champion is the question, though. There's the King. Queen is getting wall-breaked into the compartment with that King together. And now the question still remains, where is he going to use that Royal Champion? So far, entry, I think, looks pretty good. The question, though, is this Lalo going to be enough, especially with those Rocket Loons? I have no clue how strong they are in a regular Lalo attack. Because, I mean, he has the 3 haste spells. Where is he going to use them? Those Rocket Loons are already quick enough. So, not really sure. Looking forward to see how is it going to use that. The Royal Champion now is getting added there as well for the back end. Single Inferno Tower. And there we go. Take a look at those Rocket Loons. They're so fast. They're just too quick. And the Hounds can't even tank for them quick enough. But there the Headhunter's going. Warden ability in just a second. But is this going to be enough, Woody?
Rocket Loons with the zoom and boom, knocking apart those air defenses, but the Eagle artillery stands, nothing pathing onto it directly, and that could be a big problem for Sir Iron. Massive splash damage falling all over his army. Super spread out and unable to concentrate that firepower on that key defense. He's got one more freeze spell, but where's he going to use it? Where can he get value? He still has to take down the scatter shot. Royal Champion's got a few more spears left, hurls them for maximum effect. And what's stuck next on skeletons? Last freeze is out. The one lone rocket balloon dropping the bomb on the Eagle artillery, and its days are over. Electro Owl zapping in for the final shots, but it's going to be this multi-target Inferno in the core. That could be the end of it all, Itsu. Who will win?
It's one more the double haste.
Or the multi-target Inferno. The Inferno stands. Fire in the disco. Fire in the Taco Bell. The defenses for Rita have burnt them up.
Yeah, so I feel like I don't know if I agree with the spells overall because I feel like the haste spells did nothing pretty much. So I feel like more freezes and he could have made it even with those impressive wave of minions at the end. But yeah, that was not how things were normally looking like. Kind of surprised by the army, but I guess as I said, they're bringing the fun strategies to the table. And now it's back to Team 6. They're looking strong. They're looking strong this one. They have the advantage for sure, especially with yet again another defense. So it's up to them to bring this home nice and safely to make sure that they're getting this victory and the first seed in this last chance qualifier for the Clash Masters tournament. Either way, they're going in with their next attack strategy-wise. We have to take a look, and it is going to... Okay, maybe they're going in now with the wild attacks as well, because we are seeing a golem in this one. So let's see how is he going to use that one. Maybe with some sort of heroes together for a hero dive, and he is having a couple of bats in the mix as well. This is looking quite interesting for an entry point, Woody, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah, a lot of times we'll see that Ice Golem out in front to block for the heroes making a dive in here, but with an entire big old rocky golem, this is going to be more than just a Stewie dive. Expect to see a lot of work done by these heroes wherever SQU chooses to make the deploy happen. A 3-star here would all but guarantee victory for Team Sex and that coveted top placement from the Last Chance Qualifier, seeding for the playoffs next week. Entry point at the top right corner will get a free spell stacked on top to protect for that air defense. Still seeing 3 of them along the outer edge, but 1 should go down to this golem entry over in the top left. Keep an eye out for those heroes. They're going to crack into that top compartment, grabbing a scatter shot. Taking the next shot, maybe down into the left side corner for access to the Eagle Artillery. SQU has got a really interesting plan here, and it seems to be shaping up quite well. Not sure if it's going to be able to get the 3-star, but excellent planning regardless.
Yeah, but the red bombs are doing quite a bit of damage to those dragons. The black bombs as well, triggering by those loons. But now we have King, Royal Champion, and Queen together. This is like the scary hero part, which is so strong in those attacks. And yes, the Queen and the Royal Champion ability not even used yet. So this is looking really good for him in this one. The Queen is now coming back to help versus those skeleton traps right there. The question is, can he make that scatter shot disappear right there with his Royal Champion? Or is the scatter shot staying alive? Because if that scatter shot is staying alive, this would be bad news. But Lassie is supporting. Lassie is helping. And this means that... Wait a second. There's still a hound inside the clan castle. That might be now a game changer, though.
I don't know. I mean, there's an expo firing away at him. This hound is going to slow things down a bit, but shouldn't... Oh, actually, with the Expo retargeting onto the Grand Warden, that's a big problem for SQU now. Pups pop out and holding onto that Queen ability, but maybe trying to keep it for use against the enemy Queen? Yikes, that actually was really deadly. The whole squad was there. It's all 4 heroes, but they've just gone down one by one. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and now time is the issue as well. Like, it's 15 seconds left. The clan castle is out of reach for that Queen, even if she's going through that wall. And she has to go through another one. So this is going to be a 99% for this attack. And this means still, they're looking strong because they improved the percentage. They did not fall behind with like a 1-star whatsoever. They're getting the 2nd star. And this was the important one in this one. Not messing up anything percentage or like star-wise. So I think they're still looking really good.
Yep. 2-star, 99%, not the final blow that we were looking for quite exactly, but still with a 1-star advantage and only 1 attack left for either side. The gigantic percentage lead that Team Zex has will all but guarantee that they will be moving on. Alternate attacks with another shot to bring that star total up to 12. But ultimately, yeah, at the end of the day, a little bit of a letdown from the alternate attack squad, hoping to see them surge forward with their last strike. But with qualification to the playoffs ensured, it seems that maybe their best foot has already been put forward. And with a trip and tumble, they are now behind their German counterparts from Team Zex. The last attack now underway from YOLO23. And guess what? He's not bringing the Lava Hounds, his favorite attack strat. Instead, going to be going grounded with P.E.K.K.A.'s Smash. Battle Blimp straight for the Town Hall. spinning a lot with that Siege Machine and the Rage spells, but that will guarantee the Town Hall comes crashing down. We are not going to see a 1-star fail this time.
Yeah, and I have to say, I thought that he would go with some wild army composition as well. Like, I thought he would go with like Yo-Yo is such a creative attacker as well, that he's doing so many crazy things. So I thought he would do that as well, but either way, he's bringing the Packer Smash to the party, try to get the last 3-star 4 alternate. Going to wall break already. The question though is this Queen going to wish that right side? Maybe he has to use, wait a second, he has no invisibility spell, so where's the Queen going? The Queen is going in that right direction. That was important to make sure that this Queen and the entry is fitting. Now the question is, how is he going to handle the Single Inferno Tower? Is he just going to walk around that Single Inferno Tower and keep freezing it? Because this is what it looks like so far. Queen's just ignoring that Single Inferno Tower, walking around that one, and he's just like, I don't care. Like, if you're hitting me, I will just freeze you. I don't care what you're doing over there. I will just walk over here and do my thing, and we will see you maybe later in the attack.
Well, okay, it's a big price to pay, sacrificing a healer and quite a bit of damage off the heroes, but nevertheless, YOLO23 has stuck to the plan and still might be able to pull this one off after all. Eagle Artillery just pounding away at him, and ooh, a Giant Bomb going off. Unless he throws some more spells on those heroes in the bottom corner, they are going to be done for. Pretty of an atypical play there to choose to drop the Grand Warden to support. And you would expect to see him trying to leverage that Grand Warden for the main phase of the army. Like, did he disconnect? What is happening here? Where are the Pekkas?
I mean, I don't know what exactly happened, but yeah, I guess
like a DC
a disconnect might be the thing. It might be the disconnect. The Queen died on her ability and everything. Yeah, it looks like a disconnect. Maybe the Wi-Fi is not the best over there on vacation, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, he's not even placed half his army. He has still like everything still there, and the time is just ticking. Yeah, this is not going to be a 3-star, it's not going to be a 2-star, it's going to be a disconnect. This means Team Zex, they need to find the attack button and they should win. That's, I think, how to sum it up, because they are looking strong in this one and they should get the first seed in this tournament.
Wow. Well, 10 stars for alternate attacks when all is said and done. Average destruction down to 79.2. Fingers crossed that alternate can hook them up with some new devices or make sure that that internet is reliable for the big wars that are yet to come. They're still the world champions, though. Whatever happens here today, alternate attacks come away with qualification for the playoffs, and it looks like second place seeding. So, bit of a confusing run for this war, but I gotta say the defenses from the other side were really strong. Team Zex took this entirely seriously and have been rewarded handsomely as a result. A victory over alternate attacks is certainly something that you can hang on your Twitter bio if you were so inclined. And so good luck to them with their last strike. Make it a good one. Give us a 13-star performance here, Team Zex. I want to see it.
Yeah, I was just like reading the chat and seeing if some of them have the answer, but some people were saying he was hitting at the same time in the ESA Mobile Open on the other device. So like, this would be a cool challenge, attacking like with 2 devices at the same time. It did not work out this time. Either way, Takana is in, and we have the Queen George Dragon Riders on this one. A really interesting setup of the base, but we have seen this already, I think, earlier. The scatter shot deep inside this base with the sweepers in there as well. So let's see how that's going to work out. But so far, entry-wise, if he's not having too many problems with this scatter shot, the entry itself looks pretty promising, because from this channel where he's trying to charge into, he can reach a lot of different things and can reach as well the multi-inferno tower, and depending on the wall break, he might be even to get towards their town hall. Looking forward to see how he's going to use that, but wait a second, there's no wall breaks whatsoever in this army composition, so what is he going to go for? That's going to be an interesting one, Woody.
Well, with the damage dealt already, we can confirm that Team Zex, with 10 stars and a percentage advantage over alternate attacks, have triumphed in this final war, and they will get first place in the Last Chance Qualifier for Clash Masters, tipping off for the playoffs next week. This Queen charge is looking strong, but taking a big beating from this scatter shot now, forcing out a freeze from Takana. Might not have seen that pathing in advance, and it looks like that is going to be a tricky play, forcing out another spell. Now the invisibility to shield those healers and try to keep... Oh, nope, they're gone.
Yeah, all of the healers gone already, and I don't know what is happening with this match, but something is going completely wrong on every side, it feels like. Town at least is going down, okay? Town is going down. That's some great news right there. The question still remains, what is going to be the next step? There is the Warden coming in with those Dragon Riders. So let's see how that's going to turn out. We have the minions right behind doing the cleanup purpose, but those expos set to ground, doing some damage to those headhunters, but not targeting those Dragon Riders would have been the main objective to take down. So the question is, are those Black Mines set up perfectly to defend against those Dragon Riders? They're the first couple of Black Mines, the first Dragon Riders are falling towards those air defenses and traps and everything. And this seems to be a defense at the end of the day. And this means it is going to be a 69% defense 2-star. 12-10 is going to be the final result of this interesting match. Let's put it like this. And yeah, this means Team Zex is going to get the first seed, alternate the second.
Yeah, not with a bang, but with a fizzle. I think both of these teams are going to have to go back to the drawing board and plan hard and think a lot about the playoffs for next week, because there is a lot of prize money and that Clash of Clans World Championship Silver Wildcard ticket on the line. I want to see some answers. I want these guys over on Twitter right now telling us what happened there, what was going on. Was it a DC? How do you explain yourselves? How do you justify that? Anyways, let's go take a look at the bracket next. We're going to see the finalized result from the day. Advancement by Team Zex. Your winners of the 4th week of the ClashMSTRS qualifier. They will advance on with the top seeding from today into the playoffs. 2nd place is going to be Alternate Attacks. 3rd, Repotted Gaming. And 4th, also qualifying for the playoffs, will be Aphelion Esports.
That's right. This is going to be an interesting playoff phase, I would say. Really looking forward to see all of those top teams competing in there for quite a bit of prize money. So it's going to be an interesting next week then, and I can't wait for all of the action to get started. And this is the top 8 teams. We had already the first 3 qualifiers for collecting points. We had Lishang Dance, Greenwalkers, Space Station, HD Family, and now with the Last Chance Qualifier, we had the other 4 teams. So a lot of top teams in this one. And Woody, I can't wait for the action to get started next week.
Oh yeah, excellent squads qualifying all around. The playoffs are going to be a blast to watch. We hope that you will tune in for all the action. Remember to follow us here and stay ascribed of all of the important stuff coming in the ClashMSTRS universe. We are going to have our last competition next week, and it is going to be a doozy. 3 full days for 2 groups to battle it out and emerge with only 1 winner when all is said and done. Make sure to also go follow us over on Instagram and on Twitter, where we are giving away a Clash box with some merch for the fans out there who are willing to spread the word about the awesome wars taking place here. We hope that you enjoy the rounds today and want to give a hearty thanks to all the participants, to all the viewers, and to the supporters we got over from Supercell, and of course to the production team behind ClashMSTRS. It's been a great pleasure casting with you today, Itsu, and I hope you'll give us the final word before we sign things off.
It wasn't unexpected days of a lot of great matches, and really have to say I'm looking forward to next week, seeing all of those top teams competing, seeing all of those strategists out there for watching. We're going to see you next week. So until then, see ya. Until then.